What? 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 Why can't you? 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 I did this. Why can't you?
I think it's a new year. Smells like sesame oil. Definitely that new year smell. What up, y'all? It's your favorite internet rascal, Mikey Famine, reporting for the headliners. I'm not sure where Tim is. Maybe he's a little too much champagne last night, a little whiskey. I don't know. We'll see what's going on with him. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get the show started. I see Chris C is here. PC. This Chris C and the PC. All in the same spot. I love it. I love it. How was your festivities? Is everybody safe? Did you did you drive? Is the most important question. You couldn't pay me to be in a car last night. You couldn't pay me. Even with all the tea in China, I'm not getting in a car last night. No way, Jose. I'm not interested in being out on rookie night. You know what I mean? For beginners night, amateur hour, when all the little, oh my God. No, I'm good. Keep me inside the house, behind several layers of concrete and brick. And let the drunk people run into each other. You know what I mean? Billy. Oh, because Tim's not here, guess what? I can share my entire screen again. And oh, there we go. So now I got this.
You don't want zero problems, big fella.
All right, let's get into. Actually, I wasn't going to cover this. I'll add it to the list. I got a long list. That's okay. It is what it is. It is what it is. Hi, Diz. I actually, when I was typing up the title, like New Year Who Dis, I almost said, Jesus Christ, I got a Kermit. I almost said New Year Who Dis, but I know who Diz is. I know Diz. Yeah, this is, we didn't want that in 2026. We didn't want that. That would be bad for us. Where to start? I'll wait for Tim Ballum to get here because I got one of Tim Ballum's favorites on the playlist today. We can start light.
It was his first time experiencing...
Hey, pause, motherfucker. Jesus. Okay.
It was his first time experiencing snow.
My brother, you look like he's from Nigeria, Ghana, or something. Come on, man. You can't do this. You can't do. Look, it's not sand. It looks like sand. It looks like white sand. It's not. It's not. See, that's how they get you. See that little wet spot right there? You was fine with it just being cold on the bottom of your feet. That's fine. Whatever, right? Until you get that slush. You ain't ready for that. Don't put that slush in the books.
It was his first time experiencing snow.
It's the sandals clap for me. Don't do it, y'all. It's funny, and I get it. You was trying to do it for the video, and you was just trying to show, hey, I ain't worried about that snow. Boy, your toes will fall off in that snow.
Hey, everybody, how's it going? Hope you have.
Hey, wait, Louis Rossman. We're waiting for Tim Ballum. Okay, because I know he likes your content. We're gonna wait until he gets here, and then we'll cover it. But I do have a story about fish.
Many people, it's their first pet, the humble goldfish. Swimming in a tank in your house, it's hard to imagine it.
Goldfish or carp. And also, why are we on 360p? What's going on here? Okay.
It's much of a threat. But when released into a Great Lake, a goldfish can imperil the fragile ecosystem of the largest freshwater system in the world.
Look at these overfed ass goldfish.
Christopher Booker has the story.
Yeah, you can pull the bottom board.
Ecologist Andrea Court is beginning another day at the Coots Paradise Fishway in Hamilton, Ontario. Sitting between Lake Ontario and the Coots Paradise Marsh, this fishway acts as a border wall for fish. The goal? To keep invasive species out of this marsh, an important spawning and nursery area for native fish.
We have a series of baskets or cages that are underwater. So we have a crane, it lifts the basket, dumps them into a container, and then we sort the fish. At that point, I can decide which way the fish are going to go.
With the flick of a wrist, Court sends native fish, like this channel catfish, into the marsh to spawn. Invasives, like this
Yo, they got a bouncer for the marsh. Like, hey, man, let me see ID. Yeah, this looks like you. I can see it in the gills. Yeah, that's you. All right, man, you good. Go ahead in. Go ahead. Have a good time, man. Have a good spawn, brother. Hey, man, have a good spawn. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Awful gold in the gills, aren't you?
and carp aren't so lucky.
We turn away anywhere from about 2,000 in recent years to 9,000 carp.
And when you say turn away, you send them back?
Yeah, I send them back to the harbor. Yes, they get denied entry into the marsh.
When the fishway
Damn.
began operation in 1997, the main concern was invasive carp, which exploded in population in the marsh, displacing native fish and depleting aquatic plants. But in the past decade, as carp populations have declined, a gilded icon of childhood pets has been making a splash.
So here we go. Here's a goldfish.
Damn. Yo, they got the Shaquille O'Neal of fucking goldfish. God, that's a koi, brother.
It seemed like we moved the carp out and the goldfish.
Dark Lord Greg. Oh, wait, I got your thing here. And the penguin looks into your soul. $2 from Greg. What the hell? They're just trying to get to school. Oh, my. How dare you pun me on the first day of the year? And so violently punned. Thank you, Dark Lord Greg.
Fish kind of moved in. So starting in 2013 was really when we started seeing more numbers, higher numbers of them.
But these goldfish,
Yo, they're not lying. They will grow to the size of the container. Don't put them in a lake.
don't look like the friendly little guys swimming in tanks at your local pet shop. Even their trademark color,
Jesus. These are huge.
bred into them in captivity, can disappear in the wild.
This is a goldfish, but it's not gold.
Well, it's not very advantageous to be bright orange in the wild. And so this is more of its natural color. It can obviously be much more camouflaged.
Kept in a bowl and fed a controlled diet, goldfish are small, unassuming pets. But when they're released into lakes and ponds like this one, they gain access to an endless supply of food, and they can grow into large, destructive pests.
They do grow quite large. I think the world record is 9 pounds, but 9.
Brother, I am not dealing with a 9-pound goldfish. Blub, blub, put the flakes in the water. Okay, man. Okay, man. Okay, I'm sorry. I take it all back. Here's your flakes.
Pounds. But the biggest one we've seen here is around 40 centimeters, so about half that size.
John Midwood is a research
Does he not know that centimeters and pounds are two different types of measurement?
scientist with the Great Lakes Laboratory for Fisheries and Aquatic Sciences. He says these feral goldfish, which researchers estimate could number into the tens of millions in the Great Lakes alone, most likely originate from home fish tanks.
But what we think is happening is that people have goldfish at home, have them in their aquarium. And when they're done, they don't quite know what to do, and so they'll release them into the natural environment because they don't want to, kill that fish that they do love.
So just kill all the natural fish,
The same features or adaptations of goldfish that let them really thrive at home in that bowl that sits on a shelf and, doesn't get any new water for a while, isn't clean. Those same adaptations let them thrive in these systems that are pretty degraded.
He says goldfish are not only competing with native fish, but literally muddying the water around them.
And what goldfish can do is they'll actually disturb the substrates or the sediment and mix it up, and it gets all murky and turbid. And that stops the vegetation from growing. They're one of the most challenging fishes to have in this system. There's other aquatic invasive species here, but we think goldfish are likely to have in the near future the biggest impact on that goal of trying to recover the aquatic vegetation.
So I live in Chicagoland, not quite in like downtown Chicago, and in Romeoville, which is not too far away from me, like not too far. They have canals for the barges, because the barges go from, I think they make it from like the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, right? And they have like a system of like the Fox River, and then like a can't think of that other name of that river, but they're all connected. And then the barges can like work their way up and get into Lake Michigan or whatever. And I swear to you, I was just minding my own business, being a nerd on YouTube. And I was watching, is it Everyday Engineering? It's the show with Grady. I love it. And he talks about all these like big infrastructure projects. And because I'm not going to front, I like knowing how they decided to make the clover leaf and like the construction of it and like those big, tall highway thing, water retention dams and stuff like the actual infrastructure stuff is super interesting because it doesn't happen very often. You know what I mean? Like they build it and then it sits there for like 80 years. So if you're not there when it's being built, you don't get to see any of this stuff happens. So I like that channel. He was in Romeoville at the canal because we electrified the water in the canal. So pretty much if a fish, well, it's for those. And if you guys have seen the videos of like those carp that like boats going down the river and then like 60 carp just jump out of the water and smash into the guy. That's an Asiatic carp or whatever. And they do not want those into Lake Michigan, and the canals connect to Lake Michigan. So they have electrified the river. So they'll start swimming this way and it'll start zapping. And then eventually it gets to a point where they get paralyzed, and then they just float downstream from the current. And then they're just like, oh, okay. So if you go there, you'll just get you'll get brain rotted until you scoot back downstream. But apparently it works. And I'm like, this is impossible. There's no way that they have electricity in the water just for carp. Yeah.
Wood says he would like to see these invasive goldfish euthanized, but there's simply no safe and affordable way to do so because of the contaminants they carry as bottom feeders in an industrial waterway.
Those fish pick up a lot of those contaminants. And so if you're...
No, I got the solution, y'all. We need more seagulls. As if everybody who's trying to eat on the beach isn't terrified and terrorized enough. We need more seagulls, more fishing birds to eat the goldfish. Actually, low-key, some herons. Oh, they're probably pretty far down. They're goldfish. They're stupid. Snapping turtles. We'll introduce more snapping turtle. We'll start a snapping turtle breeding program, and they will eat the goldfish.
Trying to remove them, there have been challenges in the past in terms of where you dispose them, because they have heavy concentrations of things like PCBs and metals. Once an aquatic invasive species is in your system, you can't do much other than try to, keep its numbers down. And so the best path is really prevention.
But pet owners grappling with unwanted fish are often faced with the dilemma.
Greg is like, goldfish and carp are immortal. They feel compelled to kill one another until only one remains. This Highlander Valhalla-ass carp.
Dilemma.
I had asked a few people that had ponds if they wanted them.
A betta or a Siamese fighting fish.
Nobody wanted them, so I really didn't know what I was going to do with them.
Across the border in Erie, Pennsylvania, Neely Irwin was the reluctant owner of an unusually named goldfish that was quickly outgrowing its tank.
He was named that one because every time someone would come in the house, they would just go, that one. And I'm like, yeah, that's his name. He's the hugest.
Under the right conditions, goldfish can actually live up to 30 to 40 years.
What the fuck? Oh.
And this can leave their owners.
Yo, the fact that there's a goldfish out there somewhere that was born in like 95 and is still just kicking around, a little frustrating.
In deep water. That's why the Erie Zoo started a one-of-a-kind pet project last year.
This is our Last Chance Lagoon. This is the main pond.
The Last Chance Lagoon gives unwanted goldfish and koi a luxurious new home, a 23,000-gallon tank in the heart of the zoo. But according to Erie Zoo's Heather Gula, the primary function of the project is to educate the public.
We want to teach them about invasives because that is a big problem on the Great Lakes. We also want to teach them about proper pet care and expectations. That is something that a lot of zoos work on educating the public about because you have a lot of people that want exotic pets.
I have not been to the zoo, but this lady seems nice, and now I would like to go.
Or bring in some of those that they just don't know how to care for.
The Last Chance Lagoon intake forms tell the story of floundering fish owners.
This one's name is Pumpkin Bob. The owner did not realize how long they would live. They did get Pumpkin Bob at a fair, and he was living in a 1-gallon tank.
Along with about 50 other fish, Pumpkin Bob is now tank mates with Irwin's fish, that one, who's been living in the lagoon since last fall.
It's that one! Beasley! They needed something better. I was very, very grateful that I could put him in here, and now I can visit him.
Oh, good for him. He's got his stuff. Trying to find something funny to put for a thingy, but I'm like all thrown off. I haven't used my real soundboard in so long. Guess I'll have to just use the new one. Man, I'm out of practice here.
Tell me about it.
But good for them. And I did see, I got a couple of starred comments here. PC says, also the government moves forward with a plan to cull 468,000 owls. So this is very interesting to me. Who's out here? I just did it. Which party is out here complaining about owls? Who's got owls just, beating down the front door, eating up? Like, if you have chickens outside or something like that, I can get how you don't like owls or guinea hens or something. If you got some sort of small, weak-ass animal that you just trap in a fence outside without protection, yeah, the owls are going to get that. Owls are going to get that. But killing owls is very, like, that's a great way to spread a plague. Because I mean, if they want to cull 468,000 owls, those owls probably eat 10 mice, 15 mice a week, right? So you're just going to let those mice get out there and breed? Or would you rather them be eaten by an owl? Chrissy says, at Diz, don't worry. Labor are looking at restricting SEND support for children and those with severe mental and physical disabilities. And that excludes those with dyslexia, dyspraxia, dyscalculia, and ADHD. Chrissy also says, what the hell is labor playing at? I thought the millions raised from private school that were going to be used to support SEND pupils, or have the wealthy worked out a loophole around paying it. Isn't that the way? Yes, we got legislation passed, so we're going to be able to fund something. How come no money's showing up in the account? Oh, because we found a loophole and none of that money's going into the account. It's like, come on, guys. Hey, Al. And oh my God, you guys are so friendly. I like when you guys are nice to each other. Like, it's kind of like the chat gets really long, but I would rather have a super long chat and you guys all be friends. Oh yeah, well, we knew that. For those listening, breaking news: abortion may no longer be a top priority for Democratic voters ahead of 2026 midterms, polls show. And also, I don't know if you guys remember when I was doing a show with another gentleman. Polls are shit. Polls are absolute shit. Especially since the DNC has been like, for like the last 2 years, at least, have been like, maybe we should start pushing some pro-life Democrats. And then they'll like get these polls going up and they'll start, very selective asking to very selective groups. And they're like, look, guys, we have to just take over women's bodies. The Republicans are going to do it anyway. So would you rather have the Republicans take over your body or would you like me to take over your body? I hope the DNC goes for this because as a progressive, as a secular humanist, and as a just general dude, I hope you fucking lose every goddamn election you run with these pro-life Democrats. I hope you get your fucking shit pushed in. Like me and Tim joke about it, but women outnumber men in this country and pretty much on earth. If we keep pissing them off, it's going to be bad news bears over here. And I ain't going in no cage. Y'all better leave these women alone. And yeah, and dude, like, I'm so serious. I'm so sick of the Democrats, dude. So sick of them. They fucking literally punted the easiest election in history. In history. Easiest in history. It's a layup, dude. Everybody hates this fucking guy. Just fucking walk through the fucking election, get elected. What does she do? Hi, Liz. Liz Cheney. Yeah, can you just come on stage with me all over the country so I can, like, piss off everybody? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Ooh. If you're ever in Great Falls, Montana, there's a salmon hatchery at the Giant Springs. Big chonkers in their egg producer's pond. Ooh. I don't know. Oh, hey, what's the show all about? Bunch of lame libs, I guess. You goddamn right. You know what else we got? Oh, wait, here it is. Here it is.
Sucking us dry. And
I got my soundboard, baby. Get your kicks on this from 66 to doop 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 doop. Cope much liver. It's okay. I mean, you could have told me. That would have been. Wait, did you text me and I didn't get it? He did not text me. Everyone shamed him in the chat. Shame him. Shame. Shame. Tim.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
How dare you? Okay. We got some good news from yesterday. Partially. Here we go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
1. Suck it, Sliwa. Suck it, Cuomo.
Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year to all of you. And I can't think of a better way to usher in 2026 than to be amongst family and friends and to
We call them dinos.
inaugurate the man who will bring about a new era of progress, promise, and prosperity for New York City. Zoran, I am so proud of what you have accomplished, and I'm filled with joy about what we will accomplish for our beloved city over the coming years. And so with that, let us begin. Please repeat after me. Raise your right hand.
His hand's on the Quran. Oh no! Flames are about to shoot out of his eyes.
I, Zoran Kwame.
Oh my God, he's so nervous. Oh, poor little Zoran. He's so nervous. He was like, oh shit, that's me.
Right hand. I,
I,
Zoran Kwame Mamdani.
Zohran Kwame Mamdani,
do solemnly swear.
All right, Tish, you're gonna have to get his fucking name right, girl. You can't be up there you can't be up there pulling a Cuomo. Like, what are you doing?
Solemnly swear
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
The Constitution of the State of New York.
the Constitution of the State of New York,
And the Charter of the City of New York.
and the Charter of the City of New York,
And that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
the office of
the office of
the Mayor of the City of New York
the Mayor of the City of New York,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
I mean, I'm not the mayor of New York City. But we couldn't wipe this, we couldn't hit this with a paper towel. We couldn't spray. Look at the shit falling down from the, come on, y'all. New York. Eric Adams, this is how you had City Hall looking? While you taking gold bars and bribes? You couldn't bribe somebody to hit that bitch with some 409, some Clorox, a magic eraser. You got water stains, rust coming down the sides. Come on, y'all, do better.
Mr. Mayor, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Uh-oh, Diz is fired up.
Okay, it's such a pleasure to have you. Please sign your name. Yes.
Bro had to sign to make sure he was mayor. He's like, do you agree to be mayor? No.
Sir, and may I now ask for your $9 fine? You may ask for my $9.
Hey, you got change? I only got 20.
Go. This should be exact change. Excellent, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much. And the last
Hey, yo, he cuffed the money. Hey, yo. Put that motherfucker. He took the $9.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ollie. Thank you, Mr. Najmi. Thank you, Mayor. Okay, so you're going to sign the first line here. You're going to put today's date, your signature.
Okay, I'm not going to laugh at him with this horrible audio trying to get these things signed because they didn't. I mean, yeah, I didn't even get the man a lectern. You didn't clean off the. It's okay. It's not about that. It's not about the optics. But I'm just. You could have did a little bit better for the man. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Could do a little bit better. But congratulations. Congratulations. A real African American. A real African American. Oh, right. Okay. So speaking of Africans, let's talk about Minnesota for about 30 seconds. In Minnesota, led by a Karen, a bunch of people committed a bunch of fraud. What does the bin? What does the headliners? What is our stance? What do we think about this? How do we address this to our audience? I will say this. I'll look right in the camera when I say it. I hope they steal everything. I'm pro-theft. I mean, until Tom Homan gives me my motherfucking $50K back that he had in a paper bag from whatever restaurant that was, until he gives back the $50K, how can I be upset? How can I be mad? Mad at what? For what? This is what we do here. This is fraud is part of the American dream. These people are truly integrated Americans. They're committing fraud. That's how you know they're American. And most of these Somali citizens are, these Somali descent American citizens are just that. They're American citizens. They were born here. But because they're black and from Africa black, well, let's round them all up and accuse them all of the same shit. Look, I'm fine with people stealing shit. If you don't want your shit stolen, you should protect it. And if we're not going to enforce the laws on the people at the highest echelons of the country, let them take their money. Tighten up your belt straps. You know what I mean? You got to tighten up security if you don't want your shit stolen. That's not my problem. Look, you need to be responsible with your shit, or else
Hey everybody.
or else you're going to get frauded. And I mean, there's no way. There's no Liz Oyer.
Remember how I told you that Donald Trump has forgiven over $1 billion in debts owed by millionaires and billionaires convicted of crimes? Well, he just added another $800 million to that total. I'm Liz Oyer, the former pardon attorney for the Department of Justice. During the first months of his presidency, Trump granted clemency to dozens of people convicted of crimes involving fraud, meaning cheating other people out of money. Under federal law, those convicted of fraud are required to repay the money that they stole from their victims.
Absolutely. Look at George Santos out there in Long Island representing the Republicans in Long Island. I forget which district that is, but they were out there and Georgie boy, man, we have fun with the Georgie boy stories. It just kept getting worse and worse every week. Every week we would find out more about old Georgie boy. And you know what Georgie boy was doing? Hey guys, I need you to go to my campaign website and just help me beat these evil Democrats. I love you, Georgie boy. Let me put in all of my credit card information and send you $50. Your boy Georgie took down them credit card numbers, took them expiration dates, took that zip code. Thousands on OnlyFans, brand new clothes, brand new trips. Like he defrauded those people. So he's going to have to pay all that money back. Oh, he got pardoned. You don't get your money back. Thanks, bitch.
But not so for those who Trump pardoned. Donald Trump's pardons had the legal effect of wiping out the obligation to repay the money.
There's no crime.
In total, Donald Trump's pardons have wiped out over $1.3 billion in debts owed by wealth.
You know, she's probably making this up. I mean, it's not like she's a quick primer on Miss Liz Oyer. I need to email her or something. I would love to talk to her. She was a pardon attorney, a former pardon attorney. You guys remember the Lethal Weapon movies? You remember Passion of the Christ? Well, then you remember Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson is a complete fucking nut job, by the way. Complete anti-Semitic, crazed nut job. Trump loves him. He got himself in trouble with domestic abuse and lost his privileges to have a firearm. Trump admin said, hey, give him back his stuff you should let him have his firearms back. And she was like, no. He's dangerous. He's unstable and he refuses to seek mental help. You're going to do this right now. She said, I quit. I'm not doing it. He's not getting his gun back. Like, because imagine how you would feel if you restored someone's ability to have a firearm and then he immediately took out his spouse. You'd feel slightly responsible. And that's why these pardon attorneys have the job that they have. They have to make that judgment. Will this person rescind back into violence? She thought very wisely that he would. And because she would not restore his firearms to him, they fired her or she left.
Wealthy Americans to taxpayers and victims of crime. These are the receipts that I've showed you previously. Now, Trump has gone a step further. This week, the Securities and Exchange Commission abandoned civil enforcement actions against 3 of Trump's wealthiest pardon recipients. The SEC is a government agency responsible for protecting investors by filing civil lawsuits against those who commit fraud. But now, under the leadership of a Trump appointee named Paul Atkins, the SEC is walking away from those efforts to protect victims of fraud. Here are the 3 lucky beneficiaries of Trump's generosity. The first is Trevor Milton. Milton was convicted of defrauding investors in his...
Oh no, are you still here? Oh, did you clutch your pearls too early? Oh no, people do not have a right to steal from you. Honest to God, where are your moral values? Where are your moral values? Because if there's anything about my morals is that they are consistent. I have the same level of outrage about something across the board. Democrat, Republican, Independent, Green, I don't give a shit. If you nasty and you dirty, I don't like you. If you're lazy and cheat, I don't like you. Doesn't matter what party you're a part of. But until we start enforcing the fucking law, then there is no law. So I'm not mad at the Somalis if you're not mad at this.
Electric car company out of over $600 million.
Yeah, and this is the motherfucker who claimed to have electric semi-trucks, like the big rigs. He never got it working. He never got it working. You know what he did do, though? He shot a commercial where they put that motherfucker on a trailer, put it at the top of a hill, rolled it down the hill, turned the camera so that it looked flat, so that it looked like the truck could drive. Now, you mad at them? Where's your mad at him? Be consistent.
Milton got a pardon after he donated millions to Trump and hired Brad Bondi, the brother of Attorney General Pam Bondi, to represent him. Next is Carlos Watson, who cheated investors in his media company and owed about $97 million. Watson leveraged connections to Trump, including paying $1 million to a well-connected attorney. And finally, Devin Archer, who stole money from workers' pension funds and a Native American tribe. Archer owed about $60 million in penalties.
I agree, Chris.
He received a full pardon after he agreed to assist members of Congress who were investigating Hunter Biden.
Tim, don't you know we tried this already? Us in the Midwest, we've been trying to get annexed into Canada for years. They ain't biting.
These three could have been on the hook for over $800 million, but instead, they're walking away scot-free thanks to Donald Trump. In total, adding up the criminal penalties and the potential civil penalties that Trump has forgiven, the amount is over $2 billion.
Question for the trolls. So you are okay with Trump administration stealing money from Medicare, Social Security, veterans, etc., so he can make him, his family, and his friends wealthier via tax breaks? They're not consistent. They're on the mobile thing, so they probably left. They probably swiped away after they didn't get their they didn't get me crying in a puddle.
But definitely don't ask Donald Trump to forgive your student loans.
It was his first.
Goddamn, I already watched that. Okay. So this is this is Office of the Pardon Attorney, U.S. Department of Justice. So if you look up here, I don't know if I can make it bigger. Yeah, I don't think it's going to get bigger. But I have Control F, the word fraud. It comes up 57 times. Okay? Let's just take a look at Trump's pardon list and see how many times fraud comes up. Let's see here. Let's go to the first one. Oh, Ross William Ulbricht. You guys remember him aiding and abetting distribution of drugs over internet, continuing criminal enterprise, computer hacking, conspiracy, fraud with identification documents, money laundering, conspiracy. Let's go to the next one. Rod R. Blagojevich, former governor of Illinois, the beautiful state of Illinois. He was sentenced to 168 months, 24 months supervised release, $20,000 fine back in 2011. He committed wire fraud under color of official right, 8 counts, conspiracy / attempted attempt to commit extortion under color of official right, conspiracy to solicit and solicitation of bribe, 3 counts, making false statements. He tried when Barack Obama won the election, his Senate seat was vacant. And in Illinois, according to our Constitution, the governor is allowed to select a replacement for that senator. Rod Blagojevich said, "This thing I got here is fucking golden, and I'm not giving it away for free." Probably a direct quote, but I remember the Chicago Tribune and the Sun-Times, bleeping golden was the headline. Such good times. Good times. But pardoned by Trump. Brian Kelsey, conspiracy to defraud the United States, aiding and abetting the acceptance of excessive contributions. Devin Archer, Southern District of New York. This is in March. Conspiracy to commit securities fraud. 1 year and 1 day's imprisonment, 1 year supervised release, $43,427,436 in restitution. But he doesn't have to pay that now, you see, because he's been pardoned. That's the joy. Trevor Milton, 48 months imprisonment, 3 years supervised release. Securities fraud, wire fraud. So what are we talking about here? There's 50. I got 50 more of these. Maybe some are doubles, or let's see. Oh, here we go. Jason Galanis, 135 months imprisonment, 3 years supervised release, $37,032,337.43 restitution. And he's got two. And then he's got a second one for 173 months imprisonment with 60 months consecutive, 3 years supervised release, $47,785,176 restitution. Conspiracy to commit securities fraud, 2 counts, securities fraud, investment advisor fraud, conspiracy to commit securities fraud, conspiracy to commit investment advisor fraud. I could go on for quite some time, y'all. Look at the numbers here. Look at all the money. And just as Liz Oyer said, who was literally a pardon attorney in Washington, D.C. before Trump decided to make her do things that were illegal, and she said, fuck that. We're talking millions of dollars per. So if I cross-reference these names with people who have donated, or their likely known associates, if I cross-reference those things, are they telling me I'm not going to I'm not going to find some parallels here? I mean, look at who he's pardoning. Oh, this is that psychopath, Bashaw. Kintrell D. Galden, felony possession of a firearm, pardoned. All pardoned. Conspiracy to fraud, wire fraud. Conspiracy to defraud the U.S. Conspiracy to commit securities fraud. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. And where'd he go? Where's this thing at? Where's this thing at? Who cares about your fucking morals? You know what I'm saying? What do you care about morals? None of that shit matters right now. So if none of that fucking shit matters right now, and Trump is literally pardoning billions of dollars, yeah, Minnesota, clean up your shit. But I don't care. You can't make me upset about that. Worse things have happened to better people. Oh, we got some good news out of Chicago.
Tonight, more than 300 National Guard troops are in New Orleans in what Donald Trump claims is a security measure ahead of New Year's Eve. The move comes 1 year after a deadly terror attack on Bourbon Street that killed 14 people. And it's part of a broader push from the Trump administration to put U.S. military patrols on the streets of American cities amid his crackdown on mass deportations of undocumented immigrants. Donald Trump has been met with resistance from Democratic leaders in California and Texas and Illinois, and now from the conservative Supreme Court. Last week, in a 6-3 preliminary order, the Supreme Court rejected Trump's attempts to deploy troops to the Chicago area, siding with Democrats who argued that Trump was overstepping his authority. Quote, At this preliminary stage, the government has failed to identify a source of authority that would allow the military to execute the laws in Illinois. The president has not invoked a statute that provides an exception to the Posse Comitatus Act.
And Posse Comitatus means this is my place. I'm sovereign. I'm the governor of this state. I'm sovereign here. You need my permission to do anything.
That's the Supreme Court saying quite plainly, you don't get to do this just because you want to. Politico reports, quote, 3 conservative justices, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, and Neil Gorsuch, dissented, while another conservative, Brett Kavanaugh.
The top person on that list was the guy who made that website, the Silk Road, which was like Amazon for anything illegal. Meth, speed, little kids. They were selling all kinds of shit on there, using crypto to pay for everything.
Voted to deny Trump's request, but declined to join the majority's explanation of the ruling.
His mom gave Trump $1 million, and then he got out in a week.
Kavanaugh indicated he had had enough doubts about the administration's legal arguments that he agreed with denying the emergency stay that the federal government sought. In a concurring opinion, Justice Kavanaugh wrote, quote, to federalize the National Guard, the president must first determine that he is unable with the regular forces to execute the laws of the United States. In my view, the statutory term regular forces likely refers to the U.S. military, not to federal civilian law enforcement officers, end quote. So when the Trump administration argues that National Guard troops are needed to protect federal personnel and property from violent resistance against ICE agents, the Supreme Court is signaling that argument may not survive serious scrutiny. So far, more than 4,500 people have been arrested by federal immigration agents in the Chicago area as part of Trump's immigration raids this year. In response to this, the Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has enacted a new state law allowing residents to sue federal immigration agents if they believe
this is going to be the most expensive presidency. Like when we get to like 100 presidents, this will still be like on the bar graph. Like this year will be still over like orders of magnitude higher than everybody else. Because I'm telling you, all of this illegal shit, I don't know if everybody forgot where the fuck we are. This is America. They sue over everything. We are a very litigious people. And Trump can't be charged with crimes while he's sitting president. All the rest of you are going to be held liable for this. All the rest of you.
their civil rights have been violated. The Trump Justice Department has filed a lawsuit to nullify that state law. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, who will join us in a moment, said this about his fight to defend Chicago residents.
Every single lawsuit that we put up against the Trump administration, we prevailed, and everything that they brought against us, we were also to beat back. I said from the very beginning I was going to use every single tool available to me to protect all of Chicago, whether that's executive orders, which we've done, legislation, which we've done, including taking it to the court. And so we've said from the very beginning that this president was working outside the bounds of his executive authority. He has trampled on this Constitution. Working with our law department, including the state of Illinois, is proof positive that when we stand firm on our values, the people who are united around those values will always prevail.
And let's not forget, Brandon Johnson, brand new mayor, he wasn't in, 2-3 weeks? And Governor Abbott started loading people into buses down at the Texas border, telling them that they're going to an immigration processing site and put them on a Greyhound, a charter bus, for 12 to 14 hours to drive all the way up to Chicagoland and just drop them off somewhere random in the middle of the night. No coordination between the cities. No, hey, you guys said you're a sanctuary city, I'm sending them to you. No, nothing. Just dropped them off in the middle of the night. You guys can go back and maybe I'll find the clip for you. But I was pissed. I was pissed that morning. Because it gets fucking cold here, man. And those people were wearing like t-shirts and shorts and shit. Texas clothes. And to just bring them up here and drop them off is fuck. Where's that guy's fucking morals, huh? Where you at, weirdo? That you done ran away now. Coward.
Joining us now is the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. Mayor, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Tues. What's the practical effect of this decision by the Supreme Court? Are we seeing the effects of it in the streets of Chicago yet?
Well, we certainly are. As I've said repeatedly, that this president has certainly worked outside of the confines of the Constitution. And I've maintained that position. And, thankfully, the Supreme Court sees it our way. And what we've said from the very beginning, if this president was actually sincere about addressing violence in the city of Chicago and cities across America, he would work with mayors like myself to do the things that actually work. And so, again, we've always maintained.
And the things that actually work are like after school programs, things for the youth. I think they had like 25K. I don't remember the exact number. I got too many numbers in my head right now. But there was the youth employment program where the city just gives them a job. Ride in this truck with this guy. File some paperwork. Just do something do some of the city, like, busy work. And then you give them like $20 an hour. But they have a schedule and they have to meet that schedule. And you can't be running around doing dumb shit if you have to show up for work in the morning, or you'll do less dumb shit. And it worked. What do you know? It worked. But another big thing that Mayor Brandon Johnson is always talking about is Indiana. Northwest Indiana is 20 minutes from downtown Chicago. I mean, maybe 30. The traffic is a thing, but it's not that far away. The border is not that far away from Chicago. Indiana has some very, very lax gun laws. Tighten your shit up, Indiana. You're affecting your neighbors. You're like, well, it ain't my problem. We're just making money selling guns. Okay.
That this president was working outside the confines of the Constitution, and we are certainly grateful that the Supreme Court sees it our way as well. So this is not just a benefit for the people of Chicago, but it's really a win for cities across America.
In very practical terms, what difference does it make? What has happened as a result of this decision? Has the Trump administration acknowledged or done anything about it?
Well, they have not acknowledged that this is, a real check and balance to the Trump administration.
Did Trump admit defeat? No. Have you met the guy?
But what has happened practically is that we don't have to sit under the threat of our city and cities across America being occupied by federal troops. And quite frankly, they don't have policing power or policing authority. So
that's what I'm saying. So, like, what did you exactly want them to do? Just like they sent them down to fucking LA and they had to sit in a fucking parking lot or a parking garage, sleeping on the concrete. They didn't have no quarters for them, no bunks, no nothing. For what?
What they would actually do was never even satisfied or determined. We saw what happened in Washington, D.C., where they, the National Guard participated in streets and sanitation. They helped people with their groceries. If that's what the president is committed to doing, then he should restore funding that goes towards the SNAP benefits, restoring health care, right? So in a very practical way, we don't have to deal with the ongoing threat of cities being occupied, and that we can actually ensure that our Constitution is not being eroded by an authoritarian, quite frankly, that has demonstrated that he's more committed to instituting terror than he is providing comfort for working people across this country.
So, in fact, you used the D.C. example. We've got New Orleans, obviously. One would argue that given that they don't have any policing powers, that the deployments of the National Guard are meant largely to either intimidate or prepare Americans for other instances in which the president is federalizing troops. And again, I think the distinction is unclear for some people because ICE seems to be doing Donald Trump's bidding, and he's trying to create a situation in which the National Guard can also do Donald Trump's bidding.
Look, I think your analysis is spot on. I mean, we saw the largest upward transfer of wealth into the hands of the ultra rich with his big, nasty, ugly bill. At the same time, he created funding for ICE that essentially has behaved as the Trump administration's personal privatized police force. In fact, the only other entities that are funded higher than ICE are the United States military and China's military. We know that this president has failed in every single aspect.
I'm talking about people in red states are hurting down. They are down bad. And they're like, as long as the brown people are getting it worse. Like, that is such a sad state of affairs. Like, you got to be a weak bitch. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be a seriously weak bitch to want to fucking, like, I don't care what happens to me as long as the people I don't like get it worse.
To provide real opportunities and hope for working people, whether it's, groceries, whether it's healthcare, whether it's jobs. This president has been a failure. And so what this certainly signals is that, that there is at least another branch of government that recognizes that the overreach by the president is a real threat to our democracy, but it's also a threat to our humanity. So, it's why we've been.
And I know MLK gets misquoted a lot, but a less known quote from MLK is well, not so much a quote, but like a statement, is more or less the fact that not only is it bad for Black people, for people to hold these horribly racist ideas and to subjugate people because they're on a lower economic state or for whatever reason. Not only is it bad for the victims, it's also bad for the oppressor. Like if you guys are MAGA out there, you're in a cult, dude. And like, I'm usually like real like, oh, come on, we got to get them over there. I don't fucking care to be nice anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to fucking preserve their goddamn feelings. They clearly don't have any fucking feelings. So the only thing that's going to work now is brazen bullying. Like, they only respond to bullying. They like bullies, so maybe they need to be bullied out of their position. Like, if this, like if you think, or here, maybe they're afraid of Trump. Maybe that's the other thing, because there's a lot of people that are afraid of Trump, and that's why they operate the way that they do. You got to earn my fear. You haven't earned it yet. It is important to not oppress people if you have the upper hand, because you will lose your humanity. You will do craven, depraved, stupid shit, self-defeating shit. Like, we're in the middle of an economic turmoil, and he is funding ICE instead of feeding kids. If this is a win for you, go fuck yourself.
And very clear that we're going to use every single tool available to us, whether it's litigation or legislation or executive orders, to protect the interests of working people. And that's what we've done in Chicago. And that's what, of course, that we need to see happen across this country.
Mayor, good to talk to you again. Thank you again for being with us.
I'm dead ass serious though. Like, if y'all are, there's so much, they're stealing our stuff. And Trump has stolen all your shit, dumbass. And all he had to do was wave a brown person out in front of you, and he can lead you to do anything he wants. Anything he wants. We're going to drain the swamp. Bro, they have restocked the swamp with like mutant goldfish from earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never seen people get their pockets emptied so quickly. And then like their neighbor's pocket gets empty. And then like the guy across the street gets empty. And they're just like, there's no way that's going to happen to me. Like, farmers, voted like 80% for Trump. And then he gave $40 billion to Argentina instead of helping them out. These motherfuckers are still rooting for tariffs, even though after Liberation Day, the tariff thing was fucking the most Googled thing on earth. Who actually pays tariffs? Like, they didn't even know. But they were totally willing to go with this tariff idea without even understanding what it was. And then Trump says, your prices actually just went down. Tell me how that works with tariffs. We're going to give the farmers some of the tariff money. I thought that was going towards the national debt. The farmers wouldn't need the money if you put tariffs on. So the farmers were chilling. Actually, the farmers had already upgraded all their farms because of a governmental program. Trump cut that money. So if you spent $400 grand to put solar panels up and green up your farm, you didn't get that money paid back. And then he immediately put tariffs on everybody and shut down all the markets. So you can't even sell the crop. The suicide rate for farmers is 3 times the national average. He's doing it on purpose. He's punishing them for being poor. Like, they're white. Yeah, sure. He loves white people. But not those white people. You know what I mean? Like, he likes bankers, rich people, people who own like sports teams and stuff like that. Those are good people. But you farmers, kind of smelly, you know, living in dirt, growing shit out of the ground. Like, ugh, so nasty, so gross. Who wants to touch those people? Who wants to be around those people? Oof. What are they complaining that they want? What? To sell their crops? Ugh, I don't care. Yeah, who can care about these things? New laws for Illinois. I did a full breakdown last year. Not motivated. Here we go.
New laws are now officially on the books across the state as the new year begins. The changes touch on health care, gun safety, and workplace protections and could impact millions of people across the state. Our Darius Johnson is live in the newsroom this morning with a breakdown of what you need to know. Good morning, Darius.
Hey there, Marissa. Good morning. Happy New Year. As of today, January 1st, several new laws are now in effect, and some of those laws could hit close to home. Let's dig into those. One of the biggest changes focuses on maternal health. Healthcare workers in Illinois are now required to complete implicit bias training related to pregnancy and childbirth. Data shows Black women in Illinois are 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes than white.
Because doctors don't listen to them. I'm having a pain here. This is, I'm having trouble breathing. This is, I'm really uncomfortable. It's like clinical at this point.
Women. Lawmakers say the goal is to create better care and better outcomes for mothers before and after birth. Next up, working parents are also seeing new protections with the paid pumping law.
Hey.
Employers are now required to provide paid break time for nursing mothers.
Yes. Yes.
Who pump breast milk while on the clock. This is
goddamn right.
The change, supporters say, will remove a major barrier once new mothers return to work once again.
I mean, they should have. Sweden's got it pretty fucking sweet, man. I think it's like 300 days that the people get off or something like that, and then they get compensated by the government.
When it comes to medical bills, more transparency is now required. Hospitals now have to tell patients up front if they will be charged a separate facility fee for outpatient care. This move is aimed at cutting down surprise costs for patients. Last but not least, gun owners, you might want to listen up because this one impacts you. A new law will now require firearms to be securely stored if a minor is present in the home. Studies show more than half of gun owners do not lock all of their firearms.
It's called the responsible gun ownership.
You might want to listen up. If they will be charged a separate facility fee for outpatient care. This move is aimed at cutting down surprise costs for patients. Last but not least, gun owners, you might want to listen up because this one impacts you. A new law will now require firearms to be securely stored if a minor is present in the home. Studies show more than half of gun owners do not lock all of their firearms, and in most school shootings, the gun came from a parent or relative. Supporters say it's meant to prevent accidental shootings as well as youth suicides. All of those laws are now in effect as of today, January 1st, and lawmakers say they are all designed to improve safety, increase access, and cut down on surprise costs for families across Illinois when it comes to those medical needs. We're live in the newsroom this morning. I'm Darius Johnson, CBS News Chicago. Marissa, back to you in studio.
Great job, Darius. Great report. He crushed it. He crushed it. And I was really actually glad to see that. I think in the last 2 or 3, I mean, there's a lot, last 2 or 3 like school shootings, the parents got charges. That's how it always should have been. If I left, I mean, my little stinky butt can't reach the pedals yet, but if I just like left the car on with the keys in it and said, hey, I'll be right back. And then she gets up into the driver's seat and then like runs over 10 people because she can't see what she's doing. I'm responsible for that. Why did I leave the keys in the car? Why didn't I take them with me? Like any of these things could have happened. Or could have been any of the, I had many opportunities to prevent this. And if I don't, then I'm responsible. If you leave your AR-15 on the freaking mantle loaded, and then you go to work at 8 a.m. and then your kid goes to school at 9 a.m. or whatever, the 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. switch the times. So your kid's got a full hour to that gun while you're gone at work, and then they can just take it to school without anybody even looking at them because everybody's gone. That's on you. You can't do that. That's not safe for the rest of us fucking parents. I don't want to fucking put my kid in a school where anybody could just have anything. I went to one of the worst, like worst schools in St. Louis history. Like, it was not great. We had no stabbings. We had some fights, fist fights, boys. Well, no, girls, boys fighting over girls. But we never had any like major, and these were the kids from the projects. We had metal detectors. Every goddamn school, you got to go through metal detectors to get into the classroom, to get into the building. This is obvious. If I'm flying to Buffalo, I got to go through like 6 metal detectors. So if I'm going to have access to 1,000 10-year-olds, go through a goddamn metal detector. Take your shoes off. Southwest has stricter fucking security protocol than a fucking high school. What? Metal detectors today, metal detectors tomorrow, metal detectors forever. And also on top of that, if motherfuckers know that there's metal detectors, guess what? They don't even try to sneak into the motherfucker because they know they're going to get caught. Metal detectors solves so many things. Uh-oh, what's going on, L? See a lot of letters here. Everybody good? Breaking news. Thank you, Chrissy. Trump says he takes more aspirin than recommended, but his health is perfect. Clearly, he doesn't understand the harm of taking high doses of aspirin. Well, at least it wasn't Tylenol. And Tylenol, when are you going to sue Trump and RFK Jr. for their bullshit? Like, I'm waiting for that. That I can't wait for. Oh, wait. Don't I have RFK thing? Oh, yeah, here it is.
About what?
I would sue the pants off of them up. I was like, you said, what about my delicious, perfectly healthy drug? How dare you? Not only is it cheap, but it saves lives. I'd be all over their ass. But everybody's scared. They're scared of him. You guys remember this?
Miss Bobert.
Y'all remember this?
Votes aye.
I think it's a really major mistake and an insult to me.
It's coming. Be patient. Look, right here.
The yeas are 215, the nays are 211.
Listen.
The resolution is adopted, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Wait for it. Come on. Uh-oh. Now they standing up face to face.
Order, please. Order on the floor.
And the girls are fighting, aren't they?
Order on the floor, please. Thank you, conversation.
Oh, man. June 21st, 2023. This is the moment. I cherish this little moment. I keep it inside my mind cave on a shelf. This is the moment where Bobert ran up to the lectern, and she introduced legislation to impeach Joe Biden when Marjorie wanted to do it.
18-wheeler.
Oh!
Bang! Hits the bucket.
I think it's a really major mistake and an insult to me.
She was like, what the hell? You knew I was going to do that, and you ran up in front of me, and you did what I was going to do. Trump loves me, not you.
Conversations to the back. Off the floor.
Didn't we try to warn you?
For what purpose does the gentlewoman... Order, please.
Look at them. They mad, boy. She said we could take it outside right now. But what do you know? From this glorious 6/21/23 to 1/1/26, oh, the band's breaking up, guys. The band's breaking up. Marjorie Trader Brown and Bobert. Let's get why is Bobert off the Trump train, you ask? Oh, you know. She was just doing some dumb stuff. It's just, where'd it go? Here we go.
Night here at 9 o'clock. Just in the last 90 minutes, we have learned about a bill with bipartisan support that President Donald Trump vetoed.
And that's big news because his longtime
He hasn't vetoed shit all year.
ally, Lauren Bobert, was the sponsor. The bill would have provided clean water to rural southeast Colorado.
Nah, fuck that. Y'all drinking dirty water. We ain't got money for clean water for Colorado. Like, isn't it so funny that now, because she voted to have the Epstein files released, I'm going to veto a bipartisan bill for clean water. I told y'all he was petty. I told you he was petty.
Our Matt Morrow on it for us tonight. Matt.
Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Bobert, who for years has stood by and been one of President Donald Trump's most ardent supporters, is now publicly criticizing him in a statement she just shared with Fox 31. And this is all about a bipartisan bill that would have helped provide clean water to tens of thousands.
Oh, hey, I'll check out. I didn't see that real quick. Oh, dude, MTG would wreck her shit, dude. MTG is a goddamn pit bull. She would fuck Bobert up. Bobert is like a Yorkie. And then MTG is like a rescue pit bull. Congress could veto Trump Colorado. Yeah, they could pull it back through. It was unanimous consent because it was so obvious. It was like, okay, we need federal approval to get this pipe to connect to that pipe. Same thing happened in northwestern Arkansas. Same, like literally same kind of bill. He vetoed twice. Clean water for people. For like, dude, for what? Dude, like, what do you have to lose? She's got to get punished. She's got to be, yes, he was in office at the time, but they didn't get enough votes for it to go through. They just wanted to be the golden girl who got to bring it up to, they wanted to be the one to hand in the group project. I mean, they failed the group project, but they were fighting over who got to turn it in.
Thousands of people in southeastern Colorado. That bill would help finish the Arkansas Valley conduit by extending the loan time and cutting the interest. Again, this would have all helped provide clean and reliable water to some 50,000 people in the state. The bill is co-sponsored by Colorado Republican Congressman Jeff Hurd and tied to a Senate bill that both of Colorado's Democratic senators introduced.
Like, Like, this Congress sucks. This is the worst Congress ever. This Congress is fucking cheeks, like straight cheeks. I hate this Congress. They finally agreed on something. Like, they finally did something right.
President Trump just this week vetoed the bill, writing in part, and I quote, "Enough is enough. My administration is committed to preventing American taxpayers from funding expensive and unreliable policies. Ending the massive cost of taxpayer handouts and restoring fiscal sanity is vital to the economic growth and the fiscal health of the nation."
Hey, y'all want me to pull up the pardon list again? Y'all want to see the pardon list again? You want me to let me get Liz Oyer back on the screen so y'all can see how many billions of dollars he done gave away to his buddies. We can't afford no motherfucking clean water. What you want, pipes? Actually, they just, what do you say? They just want an extension of the loan so that they can, like, work out the details. Let's go back.
President Trump just this week vetoed the bill, writing in part, and I quote, "Enough is heard," and tied to a Senate bill that both of the bill is co-sponsored by Loan Time and Conduit by Colorado. That bill would help finish the Arkansas Valley Conduit by extending the loan time and cutting the interest. Again,
extending the loan time, so giving them more months and just cutting the rate a little bit so that they can not ask for money. Can you just not charge us so much? Can you stretch out the bill? Can I pay you over 6 weeks instead of 4 weeks? And then I'll give you the last little bit, the little recompense of that. There you go, counter Kev. Fiscal health where? Argentina. Exactly. $40 billion to a foreign nation. But no, you can't. We don't have money for this. Okay? I mean, I do. As president, I have the money for it. Probably in an account somewhere. But no, you can't get your loan extended. And no, we're not lowering the interest rate. No.
This would have all helped provide clean and of the nation. And to this veto and President Donald Trump, Congresswoman Lauren Bobert has this to say, quote, "I must have missed the rally where he stood in Colorado and promised to personally derail critical water infrastructure projects. My bad.
No. Don't be trying to act like, oh, well, I just no, girl. You better get down there and start licking them toes. You know what I'm saying? He's standing on your face. Open your mouth, take your tongue out of your mouth and lick his toes. That's what you do. That's where y'all are right now. There have never been two bigger, dumber cheerleaders for this president than maybe Diamond and Silk. R.I.P. to whichever one died. I don't even know which one it was. But besides Diamond and Silk was the first dynamic duo. Trump Pardue. Oh, it's all about, it was MTG Bobert. MTG done turned into she's a traitor now. Because she wanted to, get some justice for the Epstein victims. And now Bobert, she can't even get her bill through to give clean water to people. And it didn't even ask for much. And it was bipartisan approval, which doesn't happen in this Congress because they're fucking crazed. They never think it could happen to them. You know what I mean? They never think it'll be them. It's always going to be somebody else, never them.
Water infrastructure projects. My bad. I thought the campaign was about lowering costs and cutting red tape.
You better be quiet, girl.
But hey, if this administration wants to make its legacy blocking projects that deliver water to rural Americans, that's on them.
We don't want rural Americans and farmers to have anything in this country. We want to take everything from them and punish them for being the breadbasket of America. They need to be punished for what they did. My conspiracy theory is that this is all part of Elon's plan to get all of these white American farmers off of their land and replace them with some African ones, some white South African ones. I bet you once these farmers lose all these properties and they start shipping them people, because that's the only place we're getting refugees right now, right? From South Africa, from the South African white genocide. That's 100% happening. Totally happening because Elon said so. Fucking president of South Africa was sitting in the White House, in the gilded White House. Like, Mr. President, where do you get this information? We do not have the problems. It ain't happening. He watching clips from a memorial from like 100 years ago. Each one of those crosses is 10,000 dead. Each one. You remember that shit? When he was fucking sitting there with all them crosses on the side of the road? It was a memorial from something that was like years and years in the past. And it was just all showing up, just, show love. Remembrance. To mourn. Yep, that's just see it. You can see all the crosses from all the, and people just bought it. Hook, line, and they didn't investigate. They didn't check out what the South African president said after that. Like they didn't look into it. They're like, nope. Heard what I needed to hear. Brain off. Charging it until tomorrow. Oh, this is so Counter Kev. I'm glad you said that. This is why I need everybody to pay attention. This is the important stuff. Little ticky-tack shit like this, where he's just blocking shit because he wants to get back at people. I think Bobert represents like 300,000 or 400,000 people for her district. And MTG was even more than that, up in northwest, somewhere north. She was northern Georgia, out in rural Georgia. These people are not politically minded. They're not savvy. They don't understand that they should just call Bobert on repeat, and then Bobert is supposed to go and make a lot of noise and make a lot of heat and embarrass the president and get him to reverse his decision. No, they have different ways of solving conflict. They're very violent in these rural areas. So he needs to be careful. He's not going to, but he should be very careful pissing off these rural communities because they're quite violent and petty and retaliatory. You never seen no brother, with a big old afro with a black power fist pick in his fro. You don't see him running around DC. Where's Trump? I'm gonna kick his ass. Won't do that. But you know who storms motherfucking capitals? I'm just saying. The more he tries to punish his political rivals or whatever the case may be, or people who are not bending the knee fast enough, the more he tries to do that, the more risky it becomes. And the closer we get to a destabilized country, which he is not built for or prepared for. And I can tell you right now, a lot of these white suburban people are not built for or prepared for it. I have not only did I have something in my eye, my glasses were filthy. The splintering has begun, Counter Kev. And now, he's kind of acting like he doesn't need them. Let them go. But we all know this motherfucker can't add. He bankrupted 2 casinos in 18 months. I know he can't count. That's an easy one. So his political math is terrible.
I'm going to continue fighting for Colorado and standing up for our rural communities, our farmers, and every family that deserves safe, reliable drinking water without decades more delay. And Congresswoman Bobert is not the only one criticizing President Trump tonight. Colorado Senator and former Governor John Hickenlooper says the president is, quote, playing partisan games and punishing Colorado by making rural communities suffer without clean drinking water.
Hey, rural America, I had nothing to do with that. Nope, I didn't do it. I would love for y'all to have drinking water. I would have voted for it. If I was elected, I would have voted yes, have your drinking water. Or maybe they got plans for a data center. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, is this the same? Oh, this is the Arkansas.
President Trump.
Oh, here we go. Here's the Arkansas side.
Just used his first veto of his current term to kill a funding project for drinking water in Colorado.
Yeah, that was the Colorado side. So let's see what the Arkansas people are saying.
Colorado. The bill passed Congress with unanimous bipartisan support. This veto comes as Trump has promised retaliation against Colorado for keeping his ally Tina Peters in prison for her scheme to tamper with voting systems.
Oh, it's even worse. So it's the Epstein stuff and the fact that they won't let his homegirl out of jail who tried to she literally gave access to the voting machines to somebody who was not authorized to be there. That is a fucking crime, and she went to jail for it.
Trump's recently denied disaster funding to Colorado and is breaking up the NCAR Science Lab in Boulder. This pipeline project,
we talked about that last week,
is in the district of Republican Congresswoman Lauren Bobert, who recently stood up to Trump to force the release of the government files on the infamous pedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
See, and Colorado's not like a super blue state. He doesn't care. He's like, I'm hiding my secrets and I'm stealing your money. And if you get in my way, I'm going to punish you.
Trump is now killing the bill to finish the Arkansas Valley Conduit, a decades-long project to bring safe drinking water to 39 communities on the eastern plains between Pueblo and Lamar. The groundwater there is high in salt, and wells sometimes unleash radioactivity into the water supply. This project...
Can we please not have radioactive salt water to drink? Shut up, bitch.
was first approved by Congress in 1960.
Bro, they're not asking for much. They're not asking for much. I just really don't want radioactive salt water to drink. Please.
In recent years, the cost estimate nearly doubled.
There you go. Maybe this is by design to force farmers into bankruptcy so the wealthy can buy up all the land and control the value of food. No, it's not food. Chris, you're thinking logically again. Stop it. Stop it. Like, I'm fairly certain Trump thinks that we can just import all of our food and that all of these Great Plains should just be data centers because then we'll win the AI race. Who needs drinking water when it'll help you build character and toughness? I ain't had water in 37 years, said looking like a California raisin snapping turtle.
Veto message called it a taxpayer handout, suggested it should be paid for locally. Colorado's Democratic senators have chipped away at the funding gap on this project for more than a decade. And Republican Congresswoman Bobert sponsored the House version of the bill to get it across the finish line.
It's almost like we have a federal government that we all pay taxes into for just such an occasion. Just going to throw that out there.
She told me tonight she hopes that this veto is not political retribution.
Ooh, person impersonator. Give me the air horn. You just got to tell the MAGAs the bad water is causing transgender for everyone, or one of their stupid me. Yeah, if you drink that radioactive salt water, transgender will be for everyone. And you just got to say the whole phrase because that's like the only transgender for everyone. Which is fine by me.
It does make you wonder, and I hope that's not the case. I've been told by the White House this is not retribution, but when it's the first of two bills that have been vetoed in this administration in just the first year of this administration, it kind of makes you want to step back and say, well, what's really going on here? But regardless, I was elected to serve.
Yeah, he mad because he can't pardon it. Got you on state crimes, baby. Hey, ICE agents, you hear that? Hey, ICE agents, you hear this? Don't commit no crimes in Illinois, big boy, because we got Cook County for your ass. They'll love you. They're going to love you.
Colorado's 4th district. This project stretches beyond the 4th district to constituents that I have served.
Yeah, Chris, we can just eat the AI. We'll eat all the cash from the AI that we're making.
in the past and will continue to serve. And I will ensure that they get this access that they so desperately.
No, she's right. Trump is trying to transgender for everyone. That's what he's trying to do. That's why he's trying to make you drink that radioactive salt water so you be transgender like for everyone, like everyone else.
Are needing.
The Senate and the House sent this bill to President Trump by voice vote, which suggests there could be wide margins to overturn the president's veto, but only if Republican leaders in the House and Senate will allow an override.
Oh no. Are we going to have to wait for MAGA Mike to introduce a bill to override the veto? Don't hold your fucking breath.
Vote. Bobert said that she's already been in touch with Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson to figure out ways to pass this funding bill, either through a veto override or by rolling it into.
It's not going to work. MAGA Mike doesn't care about his job. He shouldn't have been put up there in the first place. But they decided to let Matt Gaetz, serial Christian, serial good person, man who's all about the cloth.
Night here.
Jesus, that's loud. They decided to let him lead a coup and get rid of McCarthy, which I mean, I'm fine with. But now you're stuck with Keebler Elfman. God, something's in my eye. It burns, precious. It burns. Oh, let's see. We got, here, I found that owl story. Hold on.
I got asked to cover a frankly really sensitive and upsetting subject. So if you don't want to hear about the federal government's plans to cull 450,000 owls in the Pacific Northwest, this may not be the story for you. You may be like, okay, Angela, you mostly make political content and like permaculture gardening content. Why is it that you have any expertise to speak on this issue at all? Well, one, it was a request from a viewer, but two, my degree is in biology, but my focus of study is in ornithology, particularly avian cognition. I've been a certified permitted raptor handler. I've worked in wild bird rehab.
Ooh, I would love that job. If there was like, hey, podcasting or handling raptors, I'm like, it's been so great being on the Pin Podcast Network. I really enjoyed my time here. Or I would just have like owls on my shoulder, like all the time, like a screech. I like a little screech.
Even though this is no longer a field that I work in, I do feel like I have an opinion to share, and it's one that is based out of experience, education, and expertise.
All right, I'll be right back. Y'all listen.
And this topic, the plan that our federal government intends to roll out to cull hundreds of thousands of barred owls, that may be upsetting to some people, and my opinion about it may be somewhat controversial. Now, this isn't really a new issue, but the federal government released a plan back in 2024 to deal with a multiplicity of factors that make barred owls a concern west of the Cascades. But it's been coming up in the news a lot more since October, especially because Republican Senator John Kennedy keeps raising the issue with kind of faux outrage. Lest you not forget, John Kennedy is a senator from Louisiana, and we are discussing a wildlife management issue in the Pacific Northwest. So you may say, what kind of heartless bastards are wanting to kill hundreds of thousands of owls? After all, aren't raptors protected in the United States? Yeah, it's actually illegal for you not only to injure or kill a bird of prey, it is illegal to own any body part of theirs, including feathers. So how is it that the federal government is planning on killing hundreds of thousands of barred owls over the next 30 years? They plan to take about 15,000 a year for up to 30 years. So it's not like they're coming in and culling, almost 500,000 in 1 year. Nonetheless, this plan is quite controversial because people see, especially barred owls, they have these like big eyes and they just have this sweet round face. When I did wild bird rehab, I have to say barred owls were probably my favorite. I know they have a reputation for being aggressive toward humans in the wild, and I'll get into that in a second. But in terms of doing rehab, I found that barred owls were the snuggliest. They reminded me a lot of cockatoos in terms of their need for physical affection and their sweet temperament during rehab.
There was a cat hair in my glasses touching my eye.
That's
why I couldn't get it.
Very affectionate. Night and day difference between a barred owl and a barn owl, who these guys are never going to be your friends. Barn owls always scared me a little bit. While federal law protects all birds of prey from you and me, that doesn't actually mean all birds of prey in the United States are threatened or endangered in any way. And when we're looking at the barred owl specifically, its original range ended at the Mississippi River. It wasn't until the 1900s that it began to cross and extend its range westward. And we could talk about all of the reasons for the expansion of its range and how much humans and how we altered the landscape impacted their ability to move west. But they didn't cross the Mississippi and then the Rocky Mountains and then the Cascades until quite recently. And out here in the Pacific Northwest and much of the West Coast, the barred owl is actually listed as an invasive species. This is not considered its native habitat. What happens is that the barred owl has encroached on the habitat of the northern spotted owl, which has been in big trouble for a real long time. The invasive barred owl is larger, more territorial, more aggressive, and it outcompetes the more timid spotted owl for food and nesting habitat, etc., etc. The presence of the...
Hold on. I think this is at Mom Donnie's rally.
And the Fire Department of New York.
Come on, Walter, you got to get a GoPro or something, brother. You're using your cell phone right now, aren't you? Come on, man. You got like 1 million subs, 500K.
Marks a new era for New York City.
Is that AOC?
Led by a historic new mayor in Thur.
Like, what is he even pointing at? He's like looking at the other person's phone. Oh yeah, that's AOC.
By his dedication to a working class that makes our beautiful city run. Important.
Man, New York is in such good hands. Someone who's new to doing things and has big ideas is also so careful. They're in great hands.
Barred owl and the expansion of its range and population size is a significant threat to the northern spotted owl. So the Fish and Wildlife...
Thank you, Greg. I needed this. Thank you. I heard a story that apparently owls aren't actually wise. Their skulls are full of optic nerve and murder. No room for any thoughts. No room for love, Greg. No room for care. No room for... Yeah, she's good. Well played, Sarah. Well played. I'm glad to see that the new year has not even slowed your stride. Hasn't even shortened it. Yeah, I'm with you here. America's land of free, but unable to feed your family, unable to be sick because you can't afford healthcare. But don't worry, you still have access to guns and have daily schools. Exactly. The one thing I kind of don't, and this is a very personal, individual kind of thing. Hey guys, I'm black. I'm black.
All them black people are getting the jobs that we white people used to have.
That me, I'm black. Sometimes I like her earrings, by the way. If you guys haven't caught them, they're guillotines. I find people like Angela very good allies on very many issues until something comes up that they don't feel comfortable about, and then they're kind of willing to push other people under the bus, or they're kind of willing to, it's kind of that like West Coast liberal kind of feels like I'm just taking care of mine, and then Midwestern and East Coasters are like, no, we all have to do this whole thing, right? And it's easy for the West Coast because they're so far away from everybody. They get kind of insular. So when Angela gets a little insular, I get a little skip this fucking video.
Life Service proposed this plan to cull barred owls in an attempt to control their population and to give the spotted owl some breathing room. And obviously, this plan is going to be controversial. Anytime you're talking about culling wildlife, especially wildlife, or not even wildlife, we could talk about culling cats in another video. I'm happy to have that conversation and piss a bunch of people off. But when you talk about culling animals as a wildlife management strategy, if those animals are cute and cuddly, adorable, you're going to elicit a really large negative public response. If you talk about methods to control invasive species that are not so adorable to humans, like Scotch broom or zebra mussels or spotted lanternfly, you're not going to get the same kind of pushback from the public.
We have all of those here.
That's just the reality of the situation. So there's been a really large public outcry, and I think that outcry is compounded. People's outrage is compounded because they are being fed some misinformation, right? I said earlier in the beginning of this video that the barred owl in the wild can be somewhat aggressive. In fact, there are a lot of places in the Pacific Northwest, if you go hiking, there are warning signs like, hey, this is...
Sorry, I know it's roast you Americans laugh, but it would make... That's what I'm saying. Like, it's an open net. You don't have to kick it that fucking hard. You know what I mean? Like, there's literally no goalie. Literally no goalie. Or our goalie doesn't have gloves or something, and it's raining. Like, you could just boop, just pop it in.
This is where there are resident barred owls, and they may come for you on the trail. They may swoop at you, with their talons out. They may come in hot if you're hiking on this trail. And there are so many reports of aggressive owls going for hikers. And it's almost like a joke in certain parts of the Pacific Northwest that when you go hiking, you got to be prepared. There's going to be an owl swooping in on you. I have been hiking in a lot of places that have these signs. I have seen barred owls.
So trespassing is what she's talking about. They're kind of cuddly. Owls are cute. They just don't tolerate trespassers. So you and your stupid clanging ass water bottle, I'm trying to sleep. Get the fuck out of my forest. You're noisy as shit. Go away. Get out. Owls are like, I'm outside. You go inside. Don't you live in a box somewhere? A big cardboard concrete box? Go live in that motherfucker. Get out of my forest. They don't want your ass there. We don't just get to kill them because they're fucking swatting at people. They're dive bombing people. I haven't heard for no calls to go after the pigeons or the seagulls who are known food thieves.
Never personally been dive bombed by a barred owl.
Thank you, Jukebox.
Owl. And it's not even really in particularly remote areas, right? In the Portland metro area, in some of our third spaces, some of our parks, barred owls are resident and they will go after joggers.
Wait, female owls call the male owls twits. Male, that's cool.
They're particularly known for going for people's hats. They're attracted to their hats.
Quit wearing hats. The hats are offensive to owls. It's offensive in their culture to wear something on your head. Take your motherfucking hat off. Let them claws get to your scalp.
I don't know if you have that much interaction with owls or know that much about owl biology and intelligence, but most of their skull is taken up with their eyeballs and their visual processing. They're not the sharpest tacks in the box. So
how dare you?
If you want to think about the motivations for going for these joggers, they're very much driven by sight and also a desire to protect their territory. I know you may
again trespassers.
Maybe like, what the hell's a 2.5 pound owl gonna do to me? Y'all, the pressure they can exert with their talons is 500 pounds per square inch. You don't fuck around with a raptor. Their grip is more than 10 times as strong as yours, and they come in hot and they're gonna take a chunk out of you. But anyway, okay, not to sensationalize them, because it's like, there's a couple dozen.
I'm about to say, lady, which side are you on, man? You're not really selling the get out of my swamp. Get out of my swamp. Yo, we got some flying Shreks. Like, get out of the swamp. Leave them alone. I know y'all like to hike and be out there in nature, but maybe we should just like let them breathe for a little bit. I like it. Exactly. Owls are raptors. Amen. Talons will do an awful amount of damage as well as the beak. Like, I mean, Zero is pretty small. I mean large. He's a dire hound. He just hasn't hit his growth spurt quite yet. But I see like there are products on the market right now where you get like some fucking, it's like a vest, like a little bulletproof vest for the dog, except for it's like bright pink or bright green, and it's got little spikies on it. And it's so that birds of prey don't snatch your pooch and just, or even worse than trying to snatch your pooch away and like fly him up into the air. If they land on your pooch and they grab those talons and they have that 500 pounds of pressure per square inch on your little puppy's rib cage, they puncture lungs and stuff like that. So you'll see like Yorkies, Chihuahuas, Shih Tzus. They can't defend themselves against these birds of prey because they're pets. You know, they're just hanging out in the backyard, chasing a ball, putting it in a little ball loader, stepping on the thing, and then it shoots it. And then here comes frickin' friend owl from Bambi to just fucking puncture a lung or two. Uh-oh, Sarah did it again. What do you call an owl with a sore throat? A bird who doesn't give a hoot.
In documented cases. But this is part of the rumor that's been swirling. Like,
yo, I tell you, Sarah don't miss.
They're going to cull these owls because they're aggressive. There, I think, has been some promotion of this myth because there was a Netflix show that I didn't watch, but people are talking about it online called The Staircase, in which the claim is that Michael Peterson's wife, Kathleen Peterson, may have died after being attacked by a massive owl. Internet theory is the sensationalized talk. Like, this is not the reason that the Fish and Wildlife Service is doing this culling or has planned to do this culling over the next 30 years. It's specifically about protecting the northern spotted owl. So one of my viewers asked me what my opinion is. I am fully in support of this plan. I understand that it's controversial. Owls are adorable, absolutely. But when we're looking at wildlife management, it's not actually about us as people and our feelings. It's not about our distress over seeing cute animals be culled. Like, that's not the issue. It's about conserving, protecting wildlife. And maybe it would help folks to know that the Sierra Club and the Center for Biological Diversity and Earth Justice are also all three in support of this plan. But once again, it is animal rights groups like PETA and Animal Wellness Action and other kind of like vegan animal welfare activist groups that are opposed to this action and making a big stink about it. And I think that some of these groups are also spreading this misinformation about the reasons for this wildlife management plan. And
I think we should just remove humans from Earth. Everybody leave, or we'll all go live on a space station, and then we'll allow the Earth to return back to nature, and we can live in a space station and we can observe through a lens or on a screen. We do such bad care of this place that I feel like we have lost our right to it. Okay, guys. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Uh-oh. Crystal Ball with breaking news.
All right, guys, happy new year. Here we are on the cusp of 2026. 2025 was a wild one. I'm sure 2026 is going to be another wild one, not least of which because we're probably going to learn a whole lot more about Jeffrey Epstein and the many powerful men, including the President of the United States, who were complicit or enabled the horrific.
I don't know if I told you guys. Did you guys catch the connection? I think did I do it on the show? Either last Thursday or Tuesday that just passed. Peter Thiel is implicated in the Epstein files. Peter Thiel is the one who independently funded J.D. Vance. So now Trump's got his Epstein connection and Peter Thiel has his Epstein connection. And then JD, who fucking hated Trump, suddenly just becomes his vice president and best friend. I believe everything that they're saying.
Crimes that he committed over years and years. And on that note,
oh my God,
the reason I wanted to talk to you today is because we have a major breaking bombshell report from the Wall Street Journal. The title of their report here is "The Incident That Prompted Trump to Ban Epstein from Mar-a-Lago Spa." Mar-a-Lago sent an 18-year-old spa worker on a house call to Jeffrey Epstein in 2003. She complained to her bosses that Epstein pressured her for sex. Now, I'm going to go through the details here because there's a lot that this report reveals, but the TLDR is this. Number one, Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were using Mar-a-Lago as a hunting ground for young girls to abuse and potentially traffic for years. Number two, staff at Mar-a-Lago knew that this was going on. They would warn each other and warn the girls about what they might experience, including Epstein exposing himself to them if they make these house calls to his house.
Hey, remember all you guys were like, hey, Louis C.K., we should let him back in. It's not that bad. Same fucking behavior. Fuck you, Louis C.K. I hope you never have a career again.
Number three, Epstein was getting...
you don't do that to women.
You know, sort of privileged perks at Mar-a-Lago. He was not a dues-paying member, and yet he was...
No, but Trump got rid of his membership, remember?
Was told directly, the staff at Mar-a-Lago were told directly by Trump to treat him as if he was a dues-paying member. And also another special perk that he received was these house calls, which the massage staff did not like to do and was not typical at the club, but they did.
Bro, you're supposed to be playing golf and getting a massage after golf. That's already weird. This motherfucker not even playing golf. He's just at home like, I played golf 2 years ago. Can I get a massage today? Like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah, bigly, 28 million bigly that they proved so far. Trump is in the UK. It's like when your neighbor's dog gets into your garden, loud, confused, and absolutely convinced it owns the place. You ain't never lied.
For Epstein. And another piece here that's revealed is concerns directly from Trump's wife at the time, Marla Maples, who said she did not like Epstein, did not like him being around Trump, did not like his influence on Trump, thought there was something wrong with him or something off. So with that being said, let me just read you a little bit from this report, actually a significant amount from this report, because you're definitely going to want to know the details here. So they start off by saying, Jeffrey Epstein was not just a frequent visitor to Mar-a-Lago in the late 90s and early 2000s. The club was also sending spa employees, usually young women, to Epstein's nearby mansion for massages, manicures, and other spa services. The house calls went on for years. Even as spa employees.
Marla Maples is still around.
Employees warned each other about Epstein, who was known among staff for being sexually suggestive and exposing.
Hey, Congress, she's still around. They got her, they say she's 62. Get her ass up there and fucking testify. What are we waiting on?
Himself during the appointments. Okay, that's according to former Mar-a-Lago employee.
Tammy Duckworth, Lauren Underwood, subpoena fucking Marla Maples. Jasmine Crockett, AOC. Y'all are on committees. Subpoena her.
So for years, this is going on. These employees of Donald Trump are warning each other about Trump's best friend, Jeffrey Epstein, and the way that when they send young girls to his house, he is propositioning them and he is exposing himself to them. Now, did Trump ever contact the police? No record of that whatsoever. And it took up until 2003, after years of this behavior, for a specific complaint to come in from an 18-year-old that went up the chain in HR, comes to Trump's attention, and that's when he cuts off contact with Epstein, according to this. Now, only in the context of Mar-a-Lago, however, because we know that a year later, they were tangled up in this real estate dispute involving some piece of Palm Beach real estate that they both were bidding on in an auction. I think it's Trump that ends up winning out, and they are in the context of that deal. And it seems like it's not until after that deal goes sideways and they're angry at each other over it that Trump fully breaks off contact. But this is an important piece of the puzzle here. The piece goes on to say the spa occasionally provided house calls for members. Epstein was not a dues-paying member of the club, but Trump told staff to treat him like one. Epstein had an account at the spa where his companion, Ghislaine Maxwell, booked appointments on his behalf. That came to a halt in 2003 after an 18-year-old beautician returned to the club from a house call to Epstein and reported to managers he had pressured her for sex, according to those former employees. So again, you see the special treatment here, and then the final precipitating incident that gets him cut off from the club services, at least specifically with this 18-year-old beautician. A manager sent Trump a fax relaying the employee's allegations and urged him to ban Epstein. Trump told the manager it was a good letter and said to kick him out. The beautician disclosed the house call to the club's human resources team, one of the former employees said. The incident was not reported to Palm Beach police.
Again, why are there underage girls at Mar-a-Lago in the first place? Why do you have these young girls massaging old men in the first place? If I paid $100 to go get a fancy massage with the oils and the whole 9 yards, and a child walks into the fucking room, give me my $100 back now, and I'm calling the police. Who wants this? What kind of sick, fucked up pervert wants this?
The department did not begin investigating Epstein until 2 years later when a parent of a 14-year-old girl from a local high school came to them. That led to the investigation done in Palm Beach County where a number of young girls ended up coming forward. And then that's all sort of swept under the rug, tied up in a bow with this sweetheart deal that enables Epstein to effectively get off the hook. The only girl that's mentioned is the one that was closest to the age of 18, 17 years old. He gets to be on, in prison technically for a year, but he could leave during the day. Anyway, really undercharged. All of the rest of the allegations get swept under the rug.
Epstein's next door neighbor in Florida was Nutlick. Yeah. Nutlick went into that dude's house one time and he said, yeah, me and my wife fucking got the vibe and got the fuck out of there. That place was disgusting. It was all wrong. He ain't said a word about none of this. You're his neighbor. Get up there. Tell everybody what you know. Help the investigation. Nutlick also bought a brownstone in Manhattan from Epstein for $10. $10. So maybe you're not as offended as you thought you were once you got that $10 apartment in Manhattan.
But that doesn't start until 2 years later when this 14-year-old girl's parents come forward. So as this is all going on at Mar-a-Lago and Trump is being made aware of this behavior, if he wasn't already aware of this behavior, he does not report Epstein and Mar-a-Lago does not report Epstein to the police. We've got a response.
I think the only reason why Trump distanced himself from Epstein is because he knew what a shitstorm was coming. I'm going to entertain this for a second. Sorry, I keep pausing videos and stuff, but Tim's not here to rein me in. So, haha. I'll read it again. Chris C says, I think the only reason why Trump distanced himself from Epstein is because he knew what a shitstorm was coming. Chris, you're wrong. Steve Bannon was shooting a documentary to reintegrate, to rebrand Jeffrey Epstein. They were just going to act like none of it happened. And the only reason he's freaking out now is because, the survivors are talking. Now it's like, oh yeah, I kicked him out of my club. He was terrible. Steve Bannon tells Trump everything. So if Trump didn't know that Steve Bannon was going to rebrand Jeffrey Epstein, I don't buy it. It didn't work. So now they have to are you guys still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? That was the worst delivery of a line I've ever heard in my life. And I like movies. Also, Stranger Things was awesome. You guys should check it out. Seriously awesome. What is legal age in USA for working in a hotel? Probably Probably 16. Because to work under 16, you have to get a work permit. And then if you have a work permit, you've got very limited hours and stuff like that. But I imagine like janitorial work or something like that, probably 16. Kind of if I thought it was in New York. No, he was next door neighbors to him in Palm Beach. Nutlick was next door neighbors to him in Palm Beach. And he bought that apartment from him for $10 in New York. Yeah. Yeah. That's how Bannon has all this footage and shit like that. He was doing a fucking document. They were trying to like literally like, oh man, I was just doing this. And then they accused me of these things. They were totally going to try and spin the whole thing. They were going to spin it. But guess what? Dumbass won the fucking presidency. Now they got to scramble. So now Jeffrey's like, now it's time for you to scratch my. No, the hell you're not. You finna go to jail and you finna die in jail. It's too risky. And look at how they're. Oh, I love children so much. I'm so pro-life. Let me just let Ghislaine out of jail real quick. Actually, let's not put her out of jail just yet. Let's get her out of the maximum security prison that she's in because she's a fucking child sex trafficker. And let's put her in the good girl ranch where she can play with a fucking support puppy all day. Trafficked teenagers for a decade. Have a puppy. That's your Trump administration. Unbelievable.
From the White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, she said that the journal was writing up fallacies and innuendo in order to smear President Trump. No matter how many times the story is told and retold, the truth remains President Trump did nothing wrong and he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago for being a creep. Trump has said...
Yeah, but that's just the thing. He told the staff, even though he doesn't have a membership, to treat him as if he had a membership. So you can publicly say, I distance myself from this bad, but also let him come in and yes, send over the teenagers to his house by themselves. Where he may or may not just expose himself to these young girls and pressure them into doing deeds.
A number of things about why he ended his relationship with Epstein.
I bet Epstein's got the PP tape somewhere.
One of the things that he said most recently is that Epstein was stealing girls or stealing employees.
Stealing them for what?
Stealing workers from his club, and seemed to indicate one of those workers was Virginia Giuffre, who was 16 years old at the time. We know that Ghislaine Maxwell did recruit her from Mar-a-Lago. There's more reporting in this piece about the fact that this was very common for Ghislaine Maxwell to make the rounds not only at Mar-a-Lago, but other local clubs, trying to pick up these young girls for Jeffrey Epstein to abuse.
And that's a very good question, huh? And it wasn't, it was the other guy right before Epstein too. That was part of this little net. And he died in jail. It wasn't in America though. I think it was in the UK. God, there's so many people. I'm getting the fucking characters mixed up. I'll think of it.
Let me give you a little bit more here about the Marla Maples piece of this. By the time Epstein was banned from the spa, disquiet over his presence at the club had been bubbling for years, including from Trump's second wife, Marla Maples.
Yep. And then some of those emails. Oh, Countercap said, let me read it first. Didn't Bannon talk to Epstein when Trump started running for president? That the person he feared most derailing it was Epstein. Right. They needed to bring him on message. They needed to get him on brand and get him into the fold and make him a part of all the plans going forward. Because if they didn't, and they did something Epstein didn't like, he could just start releasing all the sweet, sweet blackmail that he had.
Who in the mid-90s warned her husband and others there was something off about Epstein. The relationship between Epstein and Trump, spanning from the 80s to the 2000s, has been the focus of intense scrutiny this year.
Oh, yeah. And remember when Steve Bannon defrauded the American people to the tune of $50 million because he set up a website saying, hey, do you want to help fund the wall on the southern border? Remember that? Is Steve Bannon going to jail? Well, he did.
Goes on to say, Trump and Epstein continued to cross paths after the spa banned Epstein and Maxwell in 2003. They were in fierce competition.
No, I got it. I feel like it's backwards from that, Chrissy. Chrissy says, so basically it sounds like they all rallied around to protect Trump at all costs. No, they have to deal. Epstein is the key. Epstein is the cornerstone. If they don't shut Epstein up, he can't run. Epstein knows too much about Trump's past and has been taking his employees. And as you can tell from the 5 million documents we just randomly found, he's got that. That was his whole operation. That's what that whole fucking island was about. Getting people down there, getting them compromised, recording it, and then coercing and extorting them based on the blackmail. That was the thing. Trump got. He got. Because if he didn't get got, he'd be pulling a Bill Clinton right now. And Bill Clinton's like, release everything. Everything with my name on it, put it out. Don't blur shit, put it out. What's Trump doing? He's cutting the clean water to fucking Colorado and Arkansas because people are voting to expose his shit. He called his number one cheerleader a fucking traitor to the country because she wanted to know what was because she stood with the victims. He has to get the blackmail gone. And now that the blackmail is pretty much people are gonna find it. And also I gotta watch the Midas Touch has all 8 hours of Jack Smith's deposition out. So I got to watch the whole thing.
Petition for that Palm Beach property up for grabs in bankruptcy.
Exactly.
And Epstein's message book showed 2 calls from Trump the month of the auction. So again,
right. We're on the same page.
This is when Epstein is cut off from Mar-a-Lago, but full contact with Trump is not cut off until that they're angry at each other over this real estate deal. And that's per Michael Wolff, apparently what Epstein told him. And that seems to match up with the documentation as well. There's a few other pieces here that I want to read for you that are significant about Maxwell in particular and what she was up to. It says she regularly visited the Mar-a-Lago spa where she booked Epstein's in-home appointments and charged services for herself to the account in Epstein's name. The spa made house calls for some members, but preferred they come in for services. So again, special treatment here for Epstein. Maxwell also used the spa to recruit young spa workers for side jobs, which were not authorized by the club. She said they could make some extra cash by giving massages to her friend, and that friend being Jeffrey Epstein. So
y'all want to give her a fucking puppy.
Maxwell really using Mar-a-Lago as a hunting ground for these young girls to be abused. And she would they go on to say, to other spas in the area. You have someone who was attesting that he would drive her around as she, quote unquote, made her rounds. So this is an elaborate operation involving who knows how many girls were ultimately abused as part of this scheme. Marla Maples widely shared concerns with Mar-a-Lago staff about Epstein soon after the club opened in 1995. She was vague about her reasons for disliking Epstein. She said he was wrong, he was off, and she worried about his influence on Trump. They say those comments were out of character for Maples because she was typically like extremely nice about people and didn't bad talk people to the staff. So that's notable as well. And there was a New York Times article recently about Trump and Epstein's friendship where they talked.
Yep. Either way, a bunch of middle-aged / elderly, wealthy, and powerful men took advantage of hundreds, if not thousands, of vulnerable underage girls to do vile, disgusting things to. And if they think that when the millennials take over this fucking nation, which is any month now, if you don't think we're coming for your asses, if you don't think we're going to put all your asses behind bars, you got us fucked up. All the way fucked up. Epstein also queried how Donnie financed the real estate deal because Donnie was fairly broke. Ruski funds, Agent Krasnov, etc. Yeah. And the financial piece of this is also enormous. Citibank Bank of America, all these places that did these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of wire transfers without any governmental reporting. Well, fucking here. Dark Lord Greg. Dark Lord Greg is my best friend in the world, but he lives in a different state. It's his birthday. I'm going to send him $10,000. Okay, first of all, I have to go to a dealer, or not dealer, a licensed agent for a wire transfer. And then I'm going to have to give out my social security number, driver's license number, my occupation, all this. There's a whole form. It's called, I think it's MTF, money transfer or something. But you have to, there's paperwork to fill out. And then that gets sent to the FBI, right? So, and anytime that there's multiple or structured payments, that's suspicious activity. So there should have been a suspicious activity report for each one of these transactions. Having been, I am a trained anti-money laundering agent, or I was a couple of years ago before I left that industry. But I have been qualified and tested and all this. Like, I passed my test. I never got the question wrong because my brain is weird. You cannot send money to people like that. The banks should be in trouble. The people, all the agents should be in trouble. Whoever was at the FBI who didn't fucking pick up that report and do something about it should be in trouble. We already have laws on the books that prevent shit like this. But if people don't want to enforce the laws, then here we are with this motherfucker hoarding billions and billions of dollars. And, oh, well, he was a CIA agent who was getting had a honeypot operation to mess with some of our political rivals internationally. I don't care. I don't care. You can't do that shit under our, like, we're blowing up fucking Venezuelan boats. Should have dropped a tac nuke on that fucking island. If that's the way we deal with our fucking problems, why is the island even still there? Evacuate that motherfucker, put it back in the ocean. Thousands of SARs was sent to us. That's what I'm saying. That were never filed. I'm telling you, if I tried to send any of you, and let's say, like, because the reporting limit for that particular form that I was talking about, the money transfer, the wire transfer, I think it's MTF or WTF. I can't remember. I'm stuck. Like I will get literally a man with a very nice polo, a gun on his hip, and some khakis with a clipboard say, "Hi, good morning. I'd like to talk to you about your money, the money that you sent." Like, they will come find you if you break that law. Like, we had one incident where someone sent money without checking everything, and it was a scam. So someone got scammed, and one of my employees took care of them and participated in the scam. She almost got fired. I think we had to suspend her for over, I think it was a week. Yeah, she had 7 days, no pay, and a permanent something on the record and all this stuff. Like, it's a serious thing. That's just for the person sending it. If you're the motherfucker on the other end of it, you do not want that kind of pressure on you. Yeah.
About this allegation from a mom whose 14-year-old girl had been brought to Mar-a-Lago for one of these, like, private modeling.
Honestly, following the money is the easiest, because if you try to listen to what people say, you'll end up chasing your tail.
Parties where it's basically only Trump and Epstein that are there. And Marla reportedly cornered her and told her, "Protect your daughter. Do not let her be around these men." So this would seem to somewhat corroborate what that allegation was about Marla Maples. So that's pretty much the report.
Thank you, Crystal Ball. Appreciate you. You guys check them out. Breaking Points, Crystal Kyle and Friends, the whole lot. I think I showed you guys this before, but I just really like I just really like seeing it. What the?
Tonight, more than...
What's going on? There we go. Okay. Oh, it moved. Okay. Whoop. Put that back to normal. Okay. Look. It's the sun. I love looking at the sun. And this guy's got an amazing setup here. Look at the prominences and the flares. And that's all magnetism. Isn't that fucking crazy? Isn't that crazy? So it's like fuzzy. You see? It's not even like flamey. It's like fuzzy. And then you can see like the different streams of plasma flowing through these like invisible rivers of magnetism. Just super cool. If only there was a way to make that come on. Work with me here, you goddamn thing. If only there was a way to make all that useful. Oh my God, my shit is
Expected
like lagging.
to be the first of its kind in the nation.
It is designed with green energy in mind. WBZ Jacob
going out on a good
Wyckoff
note,
takes
baby.
us inside this high-tech high school in today's Climate Watch.
In the heart of Watertown, a new high school is being built for the future.
It's the first high school in the country and probably the first public building in the country that's going.
Oh, Counter Kev with a message here. Thank you, Counter Kev. Years ago, I filed one SAR with my boss, and she told me that it was unwarranted. 100,000 pounds moving from Libya to UK via a dodgy solicitor. Seemed a bit suspicious to me, just saying. And that's the beauty of it. It's not quite like an anonymous kind of thing, but even if your boss says, oh, you don't have to do that, you can do it anyway. You can file it anyway. You could do it anyway. They don't care. They say, oh, someone's telling you not to do it. Because if nothing's going, like, this is the one time I'm okay with people who are like, well, if there's nothing going on, then if you've got nothing to hide, then you shouldn't be worried about it. If you're moving big sums of money, no, I want to know what you're doing that for, what you do for work, where are you coming from? And then mostly like those laws and stuff like that are to prevent like organized crime, terrorism, fraud, theft, like scams. That's pretty much what that stuff is for. So then when something out of the ordinary or large amounts or people are structuring where they break up the payment, like if I want to send K, hey Tess, if I want to send K $10,000, but I don't want to fill out that paperwork, hey K, I'm gonna send you 2,000, 3,000, and then 5,000. Okay, and that way we don't have to do the paper. What's his face? The Christian dude, Dr. Dino. Oh, Kent Hovind, that's his name. That's what he went to jail for. He thought he was being slick. He said, I'm not hiding my income. I'm not avoiding my mandatory reporting for my finances. I'm just saving money. It was the fee on top of it. It was just getting so high that I would just, no, you were structuring payments so that you didn't have to report everything correctly. And he went to jail for 2 years for it. And this dude's all over YouTube. Big Christian. You can't do that kind of shit. Even the Christians can't get away with that shit. They can't get away with it. You need to, like, finances was something that was, by and large, the rules are the rules. Until now.
Going to be LEED platinum, completely self-sustaining, all electric.
When it opens this spring, the new Watertown High will produce as much energy as it uses, powered by geothermal wells under the campus.
All right, last one on the laws are threats made by the dominant socioeconomic ethnic group in a given nation. It's just the promise of violence that's enacted, and the police are basically an occupying army. Don't largely disagree. The one thing that, like, because I love lefty shit, the one thing that's kind of taken out of a lot of this is the the agency of each citizen. You know what I mean? Because like Kay, I can tell you right now, me and Kay went to the same high school. If our hometown all went lefty, what exactly is everybody else? But you know what I mean? Like if a town just decides we're going to take better care of each other and we're going to apply these, Brendan Lee Mulligan. Okay, no worries. I figured it was a quote. You know what I mean? But you can, with posse comitatus, there isn't a lot of shit that the federal government can do to a state if it wants to be a leftist state and take care of people and do the things that are beneficial towards a society. There isn't a lot of shit that can stop you because they literally don't have the sovereignty. The problem is people are so addicted to the opiate that is capitalism. You can't get them out of it. Like, hey guys, if we just did this, our lives would be so much easier. No, I'm going to win. Okay. You know, okay. Like, I don't know how to help. You know, it's like, we wouldn't even have to do all this dumb shit if y'all would just read a book and understand the country that you live in. But they're so dumb. You know what I mean? Like, they're just so pig-headed and stupid that they would much rather have this fucking pedophile in chief running around here stealing everybody's fucking money. They'd much rather have that than ever listen to us.
Field of solar panels on the roof.
I'll talk through this.
In Watertown, a new high school under
With green energy in mind, WBZ Jacob Wyckoff takes us inside this high-tech high school in today's Climate Watch.
In the heart of Watertown, a new high school is being built for the future.
It's the first high school in the country and probably the first public building in the country that's going to be LEED Platinum, completely self-sustaining, all electric.
When it opens this spring, the new Watertown High will produce as much energy as it uses, powered by geothermal wells under the campus. And
I have never understood why we don't use more geothermal. Like, what are we waiting for? Like, it's right there. Like, if you're not going to use the sun, you know, the big fucking glowing ball in front of you, there's like a very, very small sun at the core of the earth. If we can't figure out fusion, we should just use the fusion that is free around us. Because fusion is the best, most efficient way of getting energy out of stuff. Why don't we use it? No, let's just burn gas and coal for everything. Like, this is so whack.
A field of solar panels on the roof.
But this is what I'm saying. It's only cost in the beginning. But then you can't make money selling people shit for the rest of their lives.
Dr. Dee Dee Galdston is Watertown superintendent.
Watertown as a community is very committed to, climate resiliency and making sure that we're doing whatever we can.
The 4-story design packs an entire campus onto just 4 acres, every inch carefully thought out. One feature you notice.
Counter Kev says the Libyans were buying expensive houses in the UK via trust, and the trustee was one of the dodgiest feckers I ever met. At one point, he accused me of acting like a policeman because we are. You're a financial officer. If you're an anti-money laundering agent, that is your thing, and there's liability for you as a wiring AML agent, since you have access to be able to send those funds to people. If you do it improperly, you will be prosecuted. Which again, where's all the people who kept doing all these fucking wire transfers for fucking what's his face? Someone has to click the button. Someone has to sign off on it. Where are all those people? They need to be in jail.
Notice immediately is the light. A bright central atrium, windows wrapping around every level, and sun that reaches even the lowest floors. One of the brightest rooms is the gorgeous gym.
And what's unusual too is that don't really see gyms with all this glazing on it, so it gets an amazing amount of daylight.
Even on dark, rainy days, the building feels bright. Designers maximize natural light to cut energy use and to make the space feel open and
I mean, honestly, it's not like they're having night school. You know what I'm saying? Just put some windows in that joint. You don't need so many light bulbs.
Welcoming.
When you walk in there, you don't feel like you're walking into a high school from the 20th century. When you walk in there, you really feel like...
Okay, hold on. I got a complaint. Please stop doing these. Please stop doing these. Stop with the stop it. Stop with these overlooks and these overhangs and shit like that. You are inviting problems that you really do not want. They need to put some glass floor over all this. You know what I'm saying? Stop having these big. This is not a fucking shopping mall. Children are here. Cover the shit up. No big Death Star 700-foot drops to the next level. Like, what are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Just don't do that.
The 20th century. When you walk in there, you really feel like the whole building is something on the edge of the future.
Hands-on labs for carpentry, robotics, and engineering, along with just regular classrooms, are connected to that sun-filled atrium.
Be looking down into the wood shop. You can be looking across the windows that you'll see for the fitness center or the music rooms, which is a double height space.
There's also a black box theater that can transform into a full auditorium. Plus, that double height gym and walking track is for both students and the Watertown community. Spots purposely built with green energy in mind.
The geothermal will.
I just hate these big chasm shits for children. Like, it's gonna happen, right? It's gonna happen.
Help to keep the
energy. Like, put a net or something, man.
Costs down. You needed to do that because these spaces are going to be used pretty much 7 days a week. This is where we needed to do a very robust geothermal program to keep these spaces warm and cool.
This project has been nearly a decade in the making, and once students move in, the building itself becomes part of the lesson, a living example of climate-smart design.
I hope they do tours when it's finished, because I would definitely do a story on that. I would love to go there and just walk around and be like, all right, cool.
Learning climate resiliency.
You gotta have like media tour day.
In a climate resilient building.
Yes. I would not like to be at the school when there's children there. Other people's children are highly annoying.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
A building designed to spark ideas and light the way forward. In Watertown, Jacob Wyckoff, WBZ News.
Okay. Oh my God. You and your damn hot knives. Okay, I was waiting for Tim Ballum, but I haven't seen him in the chat. Maybe he's just being quiet today. I had a Lewis. There it is.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Hope you're having a lovely...
And also, I would like to point out something else that pisses me off before we get into Lewis Rossman about the thing that pisses him off. And this is probably the last clip of the day. So if you haven't liked and subscribed already, please do so, because I will be running the hell out of this room as soon as I'm done with this. Couple of things. First thing that pisses me off. I found a really good clip yesterday. I showed it to my wife on my phone, and I'm on YouTube Shorts or whatever, and I'm like, oh yeah, I think I'm going to cover that on the show tomorrow. I go through my history this morning. It's gone. The video's gone. It's not on YouTube anymore. Because I'm like, okay, well, we like to play like games at the dinner table. And my game that I played yesterday was, I'm going to play a random bird noise off of my phone. And then my wife had to guess the bird. I didn't make it like impossible, like cardinal, robin, bald eagle, red-tailed hawk, like, you know, just the ones that have noticeable sounds. And then after that, I was cleaning up the kitchen because I was going to make some tacos for dinner. Was it tacos? Pasta. I made pasta. And I'm just scrolling through, and then I heard the lady, and she was like, we don't want a bunch of money from the government. We just want to be able to fix our own shit. Talking about the farmers with their tractors and all that stuff. And lo and behold, my man Lewis came through, the king of right to repair, came through with a brand new video for your ass.
Day. Welcome to today's episode of How You're Getting Fucked. I'm your host, Lewis Rossman. And today we're going to be discussing Section 1201 of the DMCA, yet again, by way of discussing wheelchairs and medical devices. I did a video a few weeks ago talking about the lies that are told to try and reinforce this horrible law that makes it illegal to show other people how to fix what you bought and paid for. And
people, you vote for representatives. If your rep will not allow you to fix your own equipment, why the fuck are you voting for them? Rural people, Why are you voting for people who will not let you work on your tractor, that empower John Deere to void the warranty on your $600,000 combine because you opened the hood and fixed it your goddamn self? Stop voting for these fucking people, man.
And that you can see here. I'll link it down below. And today I wanted to discuss somebody who hacked their wheelchair.
I thought the owls had left us. What is that model of Microsoft's Clippy? He has a video all about that, and that's why Tim Ballum's profile picture is Clippy. I'll put the link for you guys in the chat.
In order to get access to the functionality inside of this device that cost over 6,000 euros. This is a really awesome story that comes from Elfie. She was sick and tired of some of the limitations on her wheelchair and decided, I'm just going to figure this stuff out myself. So she is an IT security specialist with multiple sclerosis, and she uses an Albert eMotion M25 electric wheelchair to get around. This is approximately 6,000 euros to get this device, and they lock certain features behind paywalls. So to give you an idea of some of the...
Come on, man. Y'all got y'all got paywalls on wheelchairs? Wheelchairs? Come on, man.
Features that are locked behind a paywall. It is 99 euros to unlock a higher speed, 8.5 kilometers an hour versus 6 kilometers an hour, 600 euros for the Bluetooth remote control, 100 euros to use the phone app as a remote. Cruise mode is also an extra cost, so you could have a cruise mode, which makes it easier if you're trying to push a cart. One of the comments that really got me was catching the bus is obviously a premium function when referring to the fact that it would take 4 minutes at a slow speed to catch a bus and 2 minutes and around 50 seconds to catch it at the faster speed. The premium wheelchair is 8,000 euros. It's the same hardware, but just with those features unlocked. And one of the things that you'll hear people say is you should just pay more to get those higher features. And similar to the issue with heated seats in the car, this is something where you've already paid for it. They just want more money for you to get access to what you already had before. You're not seeing these devices get cheaper as a result of innovation and economies of scale and costs coming down over time. Rather, the cost of these devices continue to go up while they just find new and innovative ways to screw you. When you hear manufacturers talking about innovation a lot of the time and being pro-innovation, this is the type of innovation they're talking about, putting a 1 or 2 kilometer per hour speed increase behind a paywall. So what she found is that the security keys for the device were stored as QR codes on the wheel hubs of the wheelchair. Anybody can scan this, and that these paid features are enforced in the app, but they're not enforced on the wheelchair if you get access to this. So these free trial features disappeared. And what she did is she created an application and a tool that makes it easy for anybody to get access to it, as you can see.
Yes, become ungovernable.
See here on her GitHub, it says, your wheelchair, your rules. Python toolkit for the Albert eMotion M25 Power Assist wheels. Because paying 595 euros for a Bluetooth remote that does less than a Python script is absurd. And it goes over the features that you get, and it's just... awesome. Now, what's important to go over is that under United States law right now, even though what she did was literally scan a fucking QR code to get the keys off of the wheel of the device, that by circumventing that digital lock that the manufacturer does not want you to circumvent, she has broken the law. And by showing you how to do it, that is punishable by up to 3 to 5 years of federal prison time in the United States. Now,
think about it, y'all. Oh, here's the link for the Clippy video, right? Schmear. Stop, Sarah.
she is not in the United States, which is a good thing here. But
Yeah,
one of
the
thing to understand here is that if they'll do this to wheelchairs, they'll do this to everything. I'm not saying this to be an asshole. I'm just saying it to be like realistic with this. When you look at the groups of users that exist, like my customers that will show up saying, I paid $3,000 for my luxury Facebook machine and I spilled coffee on it. My parents won't buy me a new one. There's not a lot of sympathy there. But when you're talking about people with multiple sclerosis, people with disabilities, people who are not able to get around, there is a certain level of societal sympathy and empathy for people.
Whoa. We were blindsided. Trump admin terminates lease of 3 DC golf courses. I wonder who's going to put a golf course there instead. Oh my God.
That have these types of problems. And if we are willing to apply in this type of enshittification to people over there, then the bar is in Hades at this point, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
And this is just going to continue onwards throughout everything. Like there's no industry that is safe from this garbage. medical device manufacturers are using software to try and extract rent from disabled people. Ownership,
which is fucked. It's already $1 trillion chair, and you're gonna fucking put extra governors on the chair digitally? Nah, bro. Like I said at the very fucking beginning of this goddamn stream, which was over 2.5 hours ago. God, I'm scrolling. Hold on. Hold on. We're gonna find it. Where is it? I'm deep in the chat right now. Hold on. I see. I'm getting close. I can feel it. I feel like I'm getting. Oh, there it is. Huh. So companies can steal, but people cannot. Got it.
Chip means nothing if software is going to control everything. I've avoided discussing medical equipment a lot on the channel when it comes to any of this type of breaking digital locks thing, because it kind of starts to make people queasy. People are okay with the idea of breaking a digital lock so that your cell phone or your television works again, but not with medical equipment. But I want to start being a little bit more forceful and pushing back against that, because it's with medical equipment that it's actually the most important, because medical equipment is some of the stuff that is the most important. When the stakes are the highest.
And we have some differently abled people in our community. So that's why this story, number one, caught my attention, but also because I like him, because Tim Ballin pointed him out to me. And this is just wrong. There's nothing like, these companies are not just like, oh man, I did everything I could to make that chair as cheap as possible. I don't have dinner tonight, but maybe tomorrow I can get breakfast at the soup kit. These guys are millionaires. Stop fucking screwing people over. God damn.
Is when it matters that the company that made the product is able to fuck you any way that they want. I went over all of the lies and bullshit in this video, and I cited all of my sources very clearly. When they say that it is dangerous to break a digital lock in order to service or repair medical equipment, they are completely and utterly full of shit. They do not have the facts in their favor, and they never did. They do this to fearmonger you. Yep. This law in the United States needs a lot of reform. I go over these things in this channel because I don't see it in terms of I'm not in a wheelchair, so fuck them. I see it in terms of I could be in a wheelchair someday. When I am, I would really like to be in a better.
Thank you. Is it so hard to think, what if the shoe was on the other foot? I wouldn't like that very much. Let's make sure that that doesn't happen to this person or me in the future or anyone ever. Oh, shit. Look what happened when mobile providers started locking phones to their network. You're right. Because they used to be just like put your SIM card in there. It continued for a few years, and then the EU and the UK governments clamped down on it. Apple tried it and got fined. Yes. Crime is something poor people do. Rich people just do business.
Situation. I started talking about wheelchair right to repair back in 2021. It wound that bill that I was talking about that failed here wound up passing 1.5 years later when we put some lobbying money into it. And I've showed you Thomas Queter's nonprofit where he tries to build open source wheelchairs where you don't have to worry about any of this shit to begin with. These things matter to me even if I'm not the one that's on the other end of it, because you never know when I could be on the other end of it. I had a horrible, what I thought would be a permanent spinal injury in March earlier this year. And what I learned after getting some unconventional European healthcare earlier during my Christmas vacation is that it wasn't a permanent injury after all. My spine actually performs pretty damn well. In all seriousness, simply because something is not going to immediately affect me does not mean I'm just going to say, fuck this group of people. Rather, I'd like to see how we can make things better for that group of people. Because if they're willing to pick on this group of people, then let's be real, they're going to pick on everybody.
And as a secular humanist, I'll say it one more time. We're all on the same team. It is team humans versus space. Like, that's the actual, like, if y'all want to do like partisan politics, it is team our atmosphere versus space. Because if it's like, oh, here comes the meteor, well, that's the Republicans' job. No, motherfucker, you get your little smart Democratic ass over there and you help fucking get Bruce Willis ass up into space right now. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Fix the problem.
I could be in this situation at any point in my life. And when I am, I hope to live in the world that we're working to create rather than the world that we live in now. Currently, I'm the president of Hulu Foundation, which is a nonprofit dedicated to reform of Section 1201 of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act and pointing out this stuff as often as possible. And I know that Kevin and everybody else is away on holiday right now, but I really want to start considering coming up with something like the Hulu Medal of Freedom or like
No war, but space war. Maybe like a star. Nah, that'll never catch on.
Hulu Freedom Medal of something to award to people like this, even if they're not in the United States, for doing something that I find beautiful. Showing people how to break digital locks, showing people that breaking digital locks.
You're right, Tons. It all started when copying DVDs became illegal. And then it's been down. Yeah, they're bricking that shit. And actually the Switch 2, the Nintendo Switch 2, if they find that you do anything that they don't like on their console, their handhold like this. I have one right. Well, this is the Switch 1. I don't have the OLED screen and all this. This is just the normal one. But let's say like Tons told me like, hey man, if you plug your Switch into your computer, you can put this thing on there and you can play you can watch Hulu on it, because maybe they only have a Netflix app and they don't have a Hulu app. So yeah, you can watch Hulu on there if you just do this thing. I'm like, oh cool, thanks. They can remotely brick my system now. If you download something you're not supposed to on that Switch and they find out and it connects back to the internet and Nintendo gets wise, they will brick your console. If your kid does it and because you weren't paying attention or they didn't know any better or they just did something stupid, bricked. $500, please. Because you're going to have to buy a brand new one.
Is not dangerous and that it is beneficial for our most vulnerable populations, as well as everybody else. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you like that wheelchairs have a paywall to unlock something like 1 or 2 more kilometers an hour so you can catch the bus? Can you hold the bus? I did a software update to my wheelchair.
Gina, hey girl, you will own nothing and be happy.
Now I have to pay to go faster. That's the world that we live in.
Yeah, thanks.
That ain't the world.
Yeah, Bill Clinton's such a piece of garbage, man. Absolute piece of fucking garbage. Take your nasty ass back to Arkansas, and I hope Tons has his way with you.
I want to live in. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.
Bye now. Oh shit! Do not play South Park on here. You can get me fucking copyrighted. Oh, wrong one. Wrong way. Okay, that's most of the stuff that I had to cover today. I'm gonna leave it open for a couple minutes. If you guys have anything else you want to talk about or bring up. It's a brand new year, y'all. A brand new year. I know probably today. I was going to read the Constitution last night, but me and my wife watched Stranger Things and then went to bed. I just didn't. Yeah, I saw the resort fire. Oof, that's terrible. Terrible. I hate, dude, house fires are always just so fucking scary, man. So fucking scary. I mean, it's like it's like the worst nightmare for all. See, scrolling. Oh yeah, what was that Trump thing about the golf courses? Well, I mean, I don't even have to click on that. We already know what that is. He said, I got to get mine. What? What? Or no, it'll probably be Barron's fucking golf course or some stupid shit. Because heaven forbid. Heaven forbid one of these little bastards actually fucking work to earn something in their entire lives. All right. We've had a full show. I think that's a good start to the year. I watched that Stranger Things and high as hell, and I made myself ugly cry. Look, people can say whatever they want about that show. And apparently I don't want to do spoilers because I hate it when people spoil stuff for me. So maybe somebody was waiting for all the episodes to come out and now they can watch all of them. So, okay, I will be very coded here so that people who know. When the friend had to tell his friends that stuff so it couldn't get used against him, that was the most downvoted episode of the entire series, which is hilarious because if that's your take, then how the hell did you get through 5 seasons and now you want to bitch? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did you get this far and now you want to complain? Unbelievable. God damn it. Microsoft found out that when they tried to end all support for Windows 10, the EU told them they're not going to do that. And now Windows using the EU and the UK have another 2 years. Yeah. And this is a gamer kind of thing, but NBA 2K, one of the most popular sports simulators out there. That, Forza, MLB The Show, some of the MMA games, like the sports video games. 2K, they have this thing where, like, let's say I want to make a perfect team, like my dream team. So I want Michael Jordan, I want Patrick Ewing, I want Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and I need a forward. Give me LeBron James. So to make this team, you can't just like pick them. You got to play. You got to play with the players that you start off with, which are kind of randomy. And the players come in the form of like basketball cards. So like the actual 2025 version of LeBron James might be like a 92 rating overall. But then they got like a special card and it's like got purple lightning and shit coming off of it. It's a 99 LeBron James, prime LeBron James. Oh shit. How do I get this card? I got to win a bunch of games. You get the little coins, or you could spend money. You get all these little cards. You get the packs. You open the pack. Oh, LeBron James. Oh, it's so great. Here's the fucked up part. The NBA, the game comes out. You start grinding. You get a pretty decent team going. It happens. You pull the 99. Now you got 3 99s. Now you're selling some of your cards on the marketplace in the game. So like I'll trade in some of these not so great cards, but I have a couple of them. So I'll trade those in and then I'll save that money, win a couple more games. I can get like a Michael Jordan, like a good Michael Jordan card. Well, you do that for a whole year. Guess what? You got about 18 months because they're going to turn that part of the game off. They don't want to keep running those servers forever. So if you have like 2K 2024, your fantasy team is gone. They turned it off. They give you about 18 to 24 months with your special team because you need to buy the new version of the game. So I'm going to need another $100 out of you. Hurry up. Because the longer you take, the more everybody else is getting in front of you. So don't let that FOMO catch up. And it's like super fucking predatory. It's like gambling. When all you wanted was just to have like the super coolest team. And you can make your own jerseys and name the team what you want. Like really fun stuff. But only for a limited time because, hey, man, I'm trying to sell NBA 2K 2027. I can't have you over here still playing 2023. I got to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to keep those servers running for you guys to play this game that doesn't make me money anymore. I'll just turn it off. So I'm glad to see that they're forcing them at least 2 more years for that kind of stuff. Yet all the Gammons in the UK are moaning to find out the stranger was woke. You can't, it just, I really wish people would lean into it just to get certain people out of communities. You know what I mean? certain people are homophobic. Well, let's have people make out in the first scene. Get them out of here. That's why. Oh my God, I can't wait for The Boys to come back. The Boys is probably some of the best societal / political satire I have ever witnessed in my entire life, and it's all through the lens of superheroes and really good graphics and dirty jokes. So it's and that's why I love that show, because like there's season 1 there was like there was a lot of nudity, but it was mostly female nudity. Season 2 they said fuck that. Show the men pee-pees all day, penises all over the place. Actually, let's make this guy super penis. Have a super penis. This is superpower. Let's do it. I like how they aggressively try to make the chuds and the chads out there uncomfortable with the show. I love it. I won't say which Ken Burns documentary I was watching because they're English. I'll wait till it's over to start, and I will begin. Okay. I mean, he about damn near, he closer to 92 than not. You know what I'm saying? Forza, you can only get a limited number of cars, but a lot of them you gotta pay for them. Yeah. Jesus. Man, I wish I could, like, man, I had such a good team. I wish I could still play on that game. And then at the end of the day, what ends up happening is these companies using these tactics, it's all short-term gain. It's all short-term. Instead of, and gaming is not like not different than a lot of different industries where you just get some nerds who like what they like, and they'll just keep giving you money every year as long as you don't change anything. Just leave it the same. Just leave me alone. Just give me the game I want and leave me alone, and I will give you what you're asking. But now the games went from being $60 to $100. There's less and less people working at the individual studios. It's harder and harder for them to get onto the marketplaces themselves. Like, it's just, I'm not sure why they think that this is just going to be fine forever, but it won't. Oh yeah, and one last thing. What's his name? Nick Shirley. Hey, Nick Shirley. Shut the fuck up, dude. Like, who the fuck are you, man? I went to Minnesota to do a report.
We do not care.
Shut up.
We do not care.
Stop talking. If you're going to be a little racist to get into the president's fucking group, and you want to go, like, first of all, they're called Somali. There is no such word as Somalian. They're Somali. Stop calling them Somalians. They are Somali. With your dumb ass. Oh, I went around all these daycares as a fucking weirdo white dude with a fucking camera, and they wouldn't let me in. No, fucking creep ass. Get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? We're not letting you near these fucking kids. What are you, stupid? What are you, stupid? We don't trust you. You're a freak bag. No one trusts you. And again, you guys know my stance on fraud. I'm for that shit. Until I get my $50,000 back from Tom Homan. Until I get that $50K back in a paper bag, theft it up, baby. Everybody's stealing. Everybody doing it. All right, y'all. Time for me to eat breakfast. It's 2:00 in the afternoon. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. From everybody here at the Bend, we love you. Be safe. Be kind. And
This is sick shit.
Drink your meek. Oh, wait.
Over spilt meek.